Right, one for the second time, and Jim Thome's defense pushed the Indians past the Yankees. What memories will you live tonight? We'll find out next on Fox Sports Ohio. Coming up tonight, Fox Sports Ohio brings you Indians baseball. It's game one of what should be an exciting four-game series between the Indians and the New York Yankees. Welcome to Jacobs Field. I'm John Sanders. My partner is Rick Manning. This should be fun the next 4 days. No question the Yankees, the best team in the majors so far this year.
And we can show you why they are the best team in baseball. Offensively, second in batting average at .294, averaging over 6 runs a ball game. You know, they are patient, they will take walks, and they will also steal bases.
And there's no drop-off when you turn it over and look at the pitching.
They are second in earned run average to the Cleveland Indians. Complete games first with 7. Home runs allowed. It's going to be a tough club to come back from looking for the long ball.
Let's get you set for game 1 of 4 here at Jacobs Field with our Toyota Keys to Victory, brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers and Toyota.
Well, turn it up a notch. The Indians are going to have to go a little bit to catch the Yankees. They're going to have to play a very solid, good series here to win.
It's the Yankees and the Indians, the first of 4. We're going to celebrate the 48 championship as well, but get set for baseball next.
Cleveland Indians baseball on Fox Sports Ohio is brought to you by your local Sherwin-Williams paint, stain, and wallpaper stores. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers and Toyota. By BP. At BP, everything we do is to keep you moving. By Ameritech. By Pepsi, Generation Next. By Key help at every turn. By the Discover Card. It pays to discover. And by your local Ford dealer. They're winning Ohio over.
Big weekend of baseball between the Yankees and the Indians. Joe Torre's ball club 48-16. They have the best record in the majors on the road at 22-11. They have the best record in the majors at home at 26-5. Atlanta has one more win than the Yankees. Of course, New York has had numerous postponements, so they have not played as many games, but they have gotten off to a terrific start. And that's a great twosome there. Don Zimmer, the veteran, and Joe Torre, they spend hours together either playing cards or putting together what has been a terrific start for New York.
Well, if you remember, Don Zimmer was out of baseball. Joe Torre was the one to bring him back as his bench coach, and he has been a terrific addition to Joe Torre and the New York Yankees.
It's been a beautiful day downtown. Let's check out our Bryant heating and cooling weather. Right now it's 77 degrees. The wind from the north at about 6 miles an hour, and we are expecting fair skies, big crowd on hand. And you know, all through downtown today, and especially after we got to the ballpark, you could feel the excitement. Something tells you this is a special series.
Well, I think the fans are looking forward to it. They realize the Yankees are playing very, very good baseball, and they want to see their Indians and how they go up against them.
It'll be Charles Nagy making the start for the Indians tonight. Joe Torre has his lineup card ready to go. He did make a late change in that lineup, and we'll check it out now. Brought to you by your Northern Ohio Ford dealers. It begins with Chuck Knobloch at second, and Soho, who's playing shortstop in the absence of Jeter. Right fielder is O'Neill. Tino Martinez at first. Tim Raines in left. Darryl Strawberry, who hit the longest home run in the history of Oriole Park at Camden Yards yesterday, DHing. Posada doing the catching, and Curtis is in center field. Originally it was Ricky Liddell penciled into center field, but Curtis gets the start, and Brocious will bat ninth and play third.
For the Indians, it's Charles Nagy on the mound, making his 15th start of the year, his 6th start at home, and his first against the New York Yankees in '98. On the season, Charlie's 7-3 and a .518 earned run average. In his career against New York, he is 6-8. He did not fare well last year. He went 0-2 and had an ERA of 18, so the left-handed batters took advantage of Charlie last year. But Charlie's coming off 2 very good starts, one against Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, where he only gave up 2 runs in those starts, and he's 0-1 in those last 2 starts, but has pitched well. The defense behind Charlie looks like this. Mark Whitten in left, Kenny Lofton in center, Manny Ramirez in right. On the infield, it's Travis Fryman, Omar Vizquel, David Bell, and Jim Thome. Pat Borders again will get the start behind the plate.
The umpiring crew for this 4-game series starts like this. Tim Tachita will call the balls and strikes. Crew chief John Shulock at first. Rick Reed is at second, and Marty Foster, who's one of the replacement umpires for vacationing umpires, will be down at third. Mike Hargrove has let it be known that he will give up number 21 when Bob Lemon comes to town to have that number retired this weekend. Will wear number 30 once they retire number 21.
Leading off for New York,
Yankees have owned Jacobs Field. They are 15-5 in this ballpark since it opened. Chuck Knobloch set to lead off for the Yankees. It'll be Knobloch, Soho, and O'Neill against 31-year-old Charles Nagy, a native of Fairfield, Connecticut. Lives in Westlake during the season and San Diego during the offseason. Game is underway with a strike called, and this is a lineup for New York that's hit very well against Charles Nagy. As a group, a .287 average, 7 doubles. Knobloch has 3, and this lineup has hit 11 home runs off Charles Nagy. Knobloch bounces it fair, played right on the line, and Fryman throws him out.
Let's check out the scouting report. Charles Nagy, we know he features the fastball, slider, curve, splitter, and a changeup. And his strikeouts will come when he gets ahead. And I think the key for Charlie is to spot that fastball. If he can do that and prove to hitters he will throw it for strikes, then they will have to chase the breaking ball.
That brings up Luis Soho with Jeter on the DL, along with Bernie Williams and Chili Davis. And the Yankees continue to roll along, even though they're missing some important pieces to their puzzle. First pitch to him is outside. He and Omar Vizquel were involved in some pregame activity, shooting some commercials around the ballpark. Soho at .203 batting average wise. Takes a strike.
You look at the Yankees, this is their second best start ever in their history. Their first best was 50-14, their record. That came back in 1939.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Soho. Swings and misses. I'll tell you how good they've been. They lost 2 out of 3 to Baltimore to start this road trip, and that is the first series they had lost in 25. They had gone 24 series without losing. They did lose their opening series of the season, but since then they had not lost a series to any club in the American League. Ground ball to short. Vizquel will take care of his friend. 2 ground ball outs, and Paul O'Neill steps in. The coaches on the bases for Joe Torre. It's Willie Randolph at third and Jose Cardinal at first. Mel Stottlemyre is the pitching coach, and Stottlemyre was the last Yankee to win his first 3 starts in his rookie season, something that could be matched tonight if Orlando Hernandez gets a win. We'll talk more about him, of course, coming up. O'Neill fouls it back. The Yankees won the season series 6-5 last year. It was even here in Jacobs Field, and then of course the Indians in that dramatic division playoff series eliminated New York coming from behind. These two teams met only once last weekend in New York because of the rains along the East Coast. That means they'll be busy in late September toward the end of the season. Let's check out the spray chart for O'Neill.
You talk about what a good hitter Paul O'Neill is, and you can see he uses the whole field. 25 hits to left, 27 to center, 27 to right. This guy really locks in. I think he's one of the top hitters in all of baseball.
He's got the average to prove it too. O'Neill had a career high 17-game hitting streak from May the 24th to June the 10th. This season has also featured his 200th career home run. Count evens out at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Boy, that was a good pitch there by Charles Nagy. Looked like it might have been a splitter where that thing just goes down right at the end. You'll see O'Neill trying to hold up, and he turned around to talk to Tim Cheetah about it.
It was called strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. O'Neill rips it foul down the right field line. You know, you talk about Charles, the only games last year that he did not pitch into the 6th inning and going 15-11 for the season were the 3 games that he started against the Yankees. He went only 9 innings against New York and gave up 24 hits. He also lost one of the division playoff games. That was game 3. The Yankees beat him 6-1. O'Neill takes ball 3. The count is full.
Their left-handed pop really matches up well with Charlie. They start out with the 2 right-handers, and you've got 5 straight left-handers. O'Neill, Martinez, Raines, Strawberry, Posada.
Nagy ready for the 3-2 to Paul O'Neill. and he pops it up into shallow left field. Whitten starts back. He's right at the edge of the shadows, and the Yankees go in order. The Indians lineup is next. For the first inning, the Indians are 39-29 as they come in tonight. They continue to lead the Central Division in search of their 4th consecutive championship by 7.5 games over Minnesota. My Cargrove's lineup card is ready to go. It's brought to you by your Northern Ohio Ford dealers. It begins with Kenny Lofton in center field, followed by the shortstop Omar Vizquel. Then it's Manny Ramirez in right, Jim Thome at first, Travis Fryman batting 5th, playing 3rd. They've adjusted the DH in the number 6 spot. It's Mark Whitten getting the start in left field tonight after Baroa had made 3 straight starts as the DH, moving Justice to the left. Then it'll be Pat Borders and David Bell.
On the mound for the Yankees, nicknamed El Duque, it'll be Orlando Hernandez making his 3rd start, and he has been brilliant in his first 2. A record of 2-0, just a 113 earned run average, averaging 8 innings in the 2 starts. And he is a lot like Louis Tiant. Will give you different arm angles, the breaking balls, fastballs, and we will see that as the game progresses. The defense behind Hernandez has Raines in left, Curtis in center, O'Neill in right. Brocious and Soho are on the left side of the infield, Knobloch and Martinez on the right, and Jorge Posada is doing the catching.
And of course, it was his brother who came to this country first and pitched so well for Florida last year, including helping the Marlins to the World Series championship against the Indians. Meantime, he had been kicked off the Cuban national team where he had been a star for many years. 129 wins as a pitcher for that team, but they got word in '96 that he wanted out, and they kicked him off the team, and he and 7 others did leave Cuba on December the 26th of 1997. Made a couple of starts, Class A ball, then he made 7 starts, winning 6 at AAA, and here he is facing the Indians. Kenny Lofton had a big game on Sunday, and that kind of has helped wake him up. He's played much better since then. Had 3 hits, including a home run. And Kenny now a couple of hits, or excuse me, a couple of home runs in his last 4 games. Takes a strike.
There's the breaking ball. First pitch a fastball, second a 2-seamer, the third one a curveball. He ranges from 86 to 90 miles per hour, 2 or 3 variations of the breaking balls, and he will change arm slots.
Lofton 6 for 13 on the homestand. He takes ball 2, and he is working on a 4-game hitting streak that would go back and include that 1 game the Indians played at Yankee Stadium. The count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Was that a splitter or a changeup?
No, that was a changeup. About 79 miles per hour, and it was a dandy. That is his 17th strikeout, so his ratio of 5 to 1, 5 strikeouts to 1 walk. You see Kenny out in front, and it may take the Indians a time or so around this lineup to just see what this guy features. I mean, he was down in AAA, made 7 starts, had 6 wins. He was undefeated down there as well.
He is 28 years old, 6'2", 190 pounds. He's married with 2 children. Strike to Vizquel. Omar was 0 for 4 Sunday in New York. He's hitting .302. Did hit safely in all of the games against the Royals. The Indians, as we mentioned at the close of the game last night, have lost 3 consecutive series for the first time since 1993. So it's been a long time since they've gone through that kind of a dry spell. 2-1 on Omar.
One thing that'll make him so tough, you can't sit on 1 pitch. Now, these guys have never faced him. I'm sure they've seen some films of his first 2 starts.
Ball's behind Vizquel, 3-1. A big crowd, and I'm sure a festive mood for this 4-game weekend series. And on 5 pitches, Vizquel is the game's first base runner. Gives us a chance to check out our Carter Lumberman of the game for last night, and it was Lofton providing most of the muscle, including all 3 of the runs, with his 3-run home run, but the Indians came up short. Just an example of the difference between these 2 teams. The Indians, when they score 3 runs or less, are 3-22, including last night. The Yankees are 6-9 when they score 3 runs or less. Ramirez stands in. And he went 4 for 14 in the series against the Royals, but hitless last night, 0 for 4. 1 out, 1 on. Strike is called in the outside corner. One of the things, though, with that interesting windup that he has, will that make him easier to run on, you think?
Well, we'll see how if he changes that coming from the stretch. He likes to kick that leg up. I'm sure the Indians have a time on him, the time on Posada. Throwing the ball from behind home plate to second base.
Spins and throws over as Vizquel gets back.
They're checking over with Tino at first base with that sun, looking into the sun.
Comes with a fastball that's a little bit low.
Let's take a look at that motion from the stretch. He doesn't lift it quite as high.
No, it's not as exaggerated as it is from the full windup.
But I would think if you get out there and get a decent lead, this is a guy you can run on.
Check swing bouncer foul and makes it a ball and 2 strikes. What kind of time are you getting?
I got it right around 1.3, which is about average. But when you have speed, let's say like a Kenny Lofton and Omar Vizquel, those are the guys you will take a chance on.
It's 1-2 on Ramirez. Looking toward the sun that is streaking toward first base. It will be a problem maybe for both first basemen, although Martinez seems to be all right. And Manny Ramirez asking for and getting time. The pitching matchups tomorrow, Jarrett Wright and David Cone. Cone, of course, the winning pitcher last Sunday in that lone victory for the Yankees over the Indians.
It'll be the same matchup.
Again chasing Vizquel back at first. Then Saturday it's Dave Burba and David Wells, and Sunday night Bartolo Colon and Hideki Irabo, 2 of the top 3 in the American League in earned run average. Irabo is number 1 and Colon is number 3. Outside with the breaking ball, and the count evens at 2-2. Coming into the game, he had struck out 16 and walked only 3 batters in working 16 innings, coming off a complete game victory in his last start.
Well, the Yankees have scored him a ton of runs too. They won 7-1 in his first ball game and 11-1 in his second.
And that first complete game in the majors came against Montreal. It's a check swing bouncer to short. The only play is to first. Vizquel is in scoring position with 2 outs. So that'll set it up for Jim Thome.
First baseman number 25,
Jim Thome hitting .328 with runners in scoring position. Had a couple of runs batted in against the Royals. Kansas City won 2 of those 3. They have moved on to Detroit. There's a final from the American League from this afternoon as Aaron Seeley joins Maddox of the National League as the 10-game winners in the majors as Texas beats Oakland 3-2. John Wetland picked up his 20th save in that game. There were no homers, and Texas beats Oakland 3-2. We'll keep you posted on other games around the majors tonight as we go along. Outside ball 1 to Jim Thome. Vizquel walked and moved up when Ramirez grounded to Soho. See Jim hitting .338.
Last night in that ball game, in their 4-3 loss, it was the Royals with 2 out hits. They scored all 4 runs with 2 outs. Indians with a chance to do that in the first.
Breaking ball drops in for a strike. It's 1-1.
I don't think Jim Thome in this situation is going to see many fastballs, at least for strikes. They may show him a fastball. First base is open. You have the right-hander on deck, Travis Fryman, and he just made a great pitch right there with the backdoor breaking ball.
Thome leading the American League with his 28 doubles. Also has 17 home runs. He's the 1-1 pitch is outside. Well, that makes him the leader in the American League in slugging percentage. He told me ahead of the pack in several categories, and slugging percentage is one of them. Chased by Griffey, Rodriguez of Texas, Williams of New York, who's on the disabled list and not with the team on this road trip. 2-1 to Tomey, and he swings and misses.
This I don't think was a fastball. Watch the movement going down. Might have been a sinker or a split finger.
It's 2-2. The Yankees shift considerably on the infield toward the right side of the field, with second baseman Chuck Knobloch a couple steps back on the grass. You can see that Soho swung around near second base. That breaking ball misses low and away, and the count is full at 3-2. And as you said, he can afford to be careful with Tomey here and not give in, because he does have Fryman on deck.
Well, I think when the Yankees go through their scouting report, they know Jim Thome has been the hottest hitter for the Indians all year. And there is that one guy they're going to say, you don't let him beat you.
This is his 21st pitch of this first inning. And he walks. Jim Thome, that's his second walk. So there is activity on the bases for Mike Hargrove's coaches. Jeff Newman needs some company at third. Al Bumbry's already had some at first. 2 outs, 2 on for Travis Fryman. Fryman with runners in scoring position, hitting .253 on the season. He looks at a nice breaking ball for a strike. Of course, that just about what his season average is as well. He's at .257.
Well, never facing a guy before. When you throw that breaking ball right there for a strike, you got to take it to just take a look at it.
He drops down just a little bit to get the fastball on the outside corner.
He will change arm angles. He'll drop down a little. He's going to be especially tough on right-handers. You see the first pitch breaking ball away, and then that fastball there has a little extra giddy up on it. And on the other hand, when you look over on the other side to left-handers, that's where that changeup will be effective for him, like he retired Kenny Lofton with.
He walked Vizquel batting from the left side, walked Tomey, a left-handed batter. And now is ahead of Fryman. No balls, 2 strikes. Travis went 2 for 13 in the series against the Kansas City Royals. Lays off that breaking pitch. And you'll see plenty of blue on the sleeves and the legs of this 6-foot 2-inch right-hander. I can remember during the World Series people talking about him, the fact that he was back in Cuba working, I think in a hospital as a technician or something like that, not pitching because they thought he was going to defect. Travis pulls it foul.
Well, that's a breaking ball that Hernandez got on the inside part of the plate.
I would think that would be good for him to get ready to come to New York, though. He worked as a rehabilitation therapist in a psychiatric hospital after he was banished from baseball.
So now he's ready for New York.
Yeah,
that's
I
what
think
you're saying.
that would help him adjust. 1-2 the count. Runners at first and second. He pops this one up down the right field line. It's Tino Martinez into foul territory. The Indians retired. No score after 1. Top of the second inning. It was a 26-pitch first inning for Orlando Hernandez. Nagy got the side in order in the top of the first. The Indians stranded a couple of runners in the bottom of the first, both on walks. And the first pitch is inside to Tino Martinez, who has hit .292 with 3 home runs against Charles Nagy in his career. He has 10 on the season, 10 long balls. And he's been struggling a bit, maybe going back to the slight sprain of his right shoulder that he suffered on May the 22nd at Boston. He was only 3 for his last 21.
Then the Benitez fastball in the middle of the back.
That's right. Hits it high and deep to right field. Back is Ramirez to the warning track near the wall. Leaps up and makes the play. Manny went as far as he could and he reeled it in.
Well, you see the smile he's telling Kenny Lofton. I don't know, maybe he got stuck on that track out there and may have jammed himself up against the wall. A lot of times an outfielder will get back there a bit too far. When you go to jump up, you hit the wall and you don't get off the ground. But you see, he had an extra step. He had the arm out and jumps up, and he could have gotten an extra step and he wouldn't have had to jump, but he retires Martinez for out number 1.
But he wasn't quite sure. You could see him reaching for that wall. Raines hits the first pitch on 2 hops to David Bell. 2 outs.
Well, you can join Indian coaches and excellent instructors and myself at the Stop and Shop Cleveland Indians baseball day camps. They're open to youngsters 9 to 16. Call a number on your screen. As a matter of fact, we are wrapping up week number 1, where we've had some camps out at Rocky River and Hudson. We will be done tomorrow. So I'd like to thank all the Indians coaches that were out there and also all the other high school and college coaches that help us out.
Strawberry takes the strike. 465 feet. Well, that was the measurement on his home run at Camden Yards last night. Oh. And that one just kept going.
You see Brady Anderson just looking up.
Measured as the longest ever at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. It's 0-2 now on Strawberry. Darrell is 0 for 5 in limited appearances against Charles Nagy. Two balls, 2 strikes. And he has served his 3 games of his suspension. He did not play on May the 20th and 21st against Baltimore, and then was protesting the 3rd game, but then went ahead and sat out on May the 24th to complete the 3-game suspension. It's 3-2. Nagy got the first 2 pitches in there for strikes and now falls to a 3-2 count on Darrell Strawberry. He hits it to center field. Kenny Lofton should have room as he gets near the warning track. A couple of long fly ball outs, but New York goes in order.
Cleveland Indians baseball on Fox Sports Ohio was brought to you by Wendy's Old Fashioned Hamburgers, where quality is our recipe.
It's the bottom half of the 2nd inning tonight at Jacobs Field. Very happy to have you with us on Fox Sports Ohio, the cable home of the Cleveland Indians. I'm John Sanders, along with my partner for the last, let's see, how long has it been? 8 years?
8 years, that is correct.
Rick Manning and Matt Underwood will also join us as we go along tonight. David Justice. Speaking of going along, we'd like to get David Justice going, period, right?
Well, yeah, and you just wait. Every day you come out and hopefully David can string some good at-bats together and get some hits to fall.
It was a fastball for a strike. He has not had what we've gotten used to seeing David Justice type swings, has he, lately?
Well, if you remember last year, I mean, he had that one bad month, I believe it was June, because of the elbow.
Raines hustling over. I don't think he'll get there. Plays it on a hop. Justice flares a base hit to left. The Indians have their 3rd base runner and the game's first hit.
And there's a start for David. But you're right. You'll see they went with the fastball inside. It does get inside on David, and he gets it in front of Tim Raines for the first hit of the ball game.
Brings up Mark Whitten. Whitten pinch hitting a couple of times in the Kansas City series as Justice played left field on all 3 occasions, and they used Baroa as the DH, but David back to DHing tonight and Whitten to left field.
I figured Mike Cargrove thinks with this guy with a lot of good breaking balls, you want to put a left-hander in there and get all the left-handed bats you can, and I think that's a pretty good idea.
Well, Three guys batting left-handed have reached the base, 2 on walks, and then the first hit by Justice.
He's coming down to bark at third base umpire Marty Foster as far as, I don't know, something on stopping, or it's going to be something in his delivery, or something for a balk.
Witten swings and misses. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Can he keep wiggling back and forth and putting his hands?
Yeah, you see, can he keep wiggling back and forth with those hands once he comes set?
Not a bar. When you see him moving back and forth, that's not a bar. No, it's not. But one of us needs to read the fucking rule book again.
Well, Bill Schneck's got it wired, doesn't he?
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Strike 2 is called. It's 1-2 on Witten. Mike Hargrove barking at the third base umpire about the movement of the hands in the set position. It's 2-2.
He's going to stay at that end just to get a peek and just see what's going on down there with his arms. At least you make the umpire aware of it early in the ball game. Maybe plant a seed in the pitcher's mind, but it has not been called, and he's just going to take a closer look at Hernandez.
Justice at first. It's 2-2 on Witten. Mark hits it hard, but right at Martinez. He goes to Soho, back to first for the double play. Boy, he hit it right on the button, but right at the first baseman, and the Yankees turn 2.
The Yankees, the third best fielding team in the league.
Base is empty now, and Pat Borders will stand in. First pitch to him is outside. Borders has hit safely in his last 4. He's been filling in for Sandy Alomar. This is his 20th start behind the plate, and the count is 2 balls, no strikes.
Sandy's still bothered by that shoulder, chronic tendonitis up there, and hopefully it's going to get better in the next day or 2.
Tried to hold up, but he went around for a strike. It's 2-1. I think one of the things that Mike might consider, depending on who's pitching, is occasionally using him as the DH. Because Sandy, as we saw when he was coming off the bench, is swinging a pretty good bat. Borders with a little looper into shallow center field. Knobloch on the run, won't get there. The Indians have their second hit of the inning. A little blooper to right. We want to remind you, coming up after the game tonight, it's going to be Fox Sports News Primetime with all the scores, highlights, and more. Fox Sports News Primetime brought to you by McDonald's.
Well, now Mike Hargrove's going to talk to home plate umpire Tim Cheetah, and he's going to have him take a look at it. When he's set, he's saying he's moving his hands back and forth, and I think the Yankees are going to go out and talk to Hernandez. At least Tino Martinez is out there, and so is Jorge Posada, to let him know what they are barking about out of the Indians dugout. But you see the 2 hits in this inning, John, both of them have been jam shots when he's throwing the fastball. So this guy can really keep you off balance as a hitter. I mean, there's no one way you can sit on one pitch, and this is the first time they faced him. And I don't think it's going to change maybe that second time around, because he really changes speeds and he pitches.
He'll face David Bell with a runner at first, the second hit of the inning, but has also featured a double play. Although Witten hit the ball hard, he just hit it right at Tino Martinez. He did a nice job defensively to turn the double play. The Indians have the game's only 2 hits so far, and they've had 4 base runners out of their first 8. Bell takes the ball. And I'm sure they've talked about their advanced scouting reports and how to handle that breaking ball. Do you want to lay off of it, make him get it in the strike zone?
Well, you can talk about it, but you don't know the break until you get inside the batter's box and see it for yourself for what, you know, that first time around.
Comes back with a fastball, and that one bites the catcher Posada.
I don't think you go up there really wanting to hit that breaking ball. You're looking for the fastball, and you hope to get him in counts where you may have to throw that fastball.
His third major league start. He already has a complete game and 2 victories to his credit. Got his chance when David Cone could not make a start.
Yeah, look what they find. Yeah. Lightning in a bottle, huh? The Indians bid on this man. Ended up signing with the Yankees.
There's a little number in front of the plate, stays fair. Posada throws out Bell. The Indians are gone. We're scoreless after 2.
Cleveland Indians baseball on Fox Sports Ohio is brought to you by Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. When it comes to home improvement, Lowe's knows.
Scoreless game, 3rd inning, and Mike Hargrove, Rick, is not letting up in his protests about the hands and the movement of Hernandez.
Well, obviously they feel that he is balking once he comes to a set position. Mike Hargrove talked to third base umpire, that's Marty Foster, also Tim Cheetah, and he wants them to keep an eye on it. He's going to plead his case. There's Jose Cardinal. I'm sure he can speak right into his language for Hernandez, letting him know.
Hernandez officially is the 9th Cuban-born baseball player to play for the Yankees. Posada batting .271 on the season, stands in against Charles Nagy. Strike call. Charles still leads the American League with 20 home runs allowed, but he has now gone 23 innings without allowing a home run. No home runs in his last 2 starts. Rick mentioned they've both been outstanding, but he has an 0-1 record to show for those 2 starts.
Yeah, he's really kept the team. You remember that one game that Friday night in Cincinnati, went 6 2/3 innings, just gave up 2 runs, and the Indians got beat 2-1. His last start went 8 innings, just 2 runs, and they ended up losing in 10 innings or 11 innings to the Pirates.
It was a 4-3, right? The Indians lost 2 one-run games to the Royals this week, so they are 9-9 now in one-run games. There's a fly ball in the left center field. Whitten wants it. It's out number 1.
Well, the Davy Tree backyard will be open. That's tomorrow, every Friday from 11:30 to 2. You can enjoy ballpark food. Bring your own lunch and just sit out there and enjoy a very nice, hopefully sunny afternoon tomorrow. That's every Friday at Jacobs Field. The Davy Tree backyard.
2-1 out. Chad Curtis, who was not in the original Torrey starting lineup. By the way, a report in the New York Times today says that Bud Selig is ready to become the full-time commissioner for baseball, but he is denying that report. Strike is called to Curtis. Chad has never had much luck against Nagy. He's hitting .275 on the season, but he's only 3 for 35 against Chuck.
Curtis has done a good job for the Yankees since going over there from the Indians last year. He's ended up getting a lot of playing time. With Williams being out, he's been starting in center field and also has played in left.
Williams, by the way, is rehabbing down in Tampa rather than traveling with the Yankees. 1-1 pitch to Curtis. It's 2-1. Not much for Chad at Jacobs Field. A 171 average. Does have a couple of home runs. Three balls and a strike. It wasn't long after the clubhouse altercation between Curtis and Kevin Mitchell that both were gone from this ball club last year.
Yeah, Curtis was first and then Mitchell to follow.
3-1 the count. Yankees in their 4th stop on a 7-game road trip. He skies this one to left center field. Kenny Lofton retreats on the track. 2 away. Next game on Channel 43 will be when the Indians go to Wrigley Field on Monday. It'll start at 8 o'clock on Channel 43. Two outs and nobody on. Scott Brocious has 3 home runs in his career off Charles Nagy. Looks at a breaking ball up and in.
Boy, he has fit into this lineup nicely, hasn't he? The trade bringing him from Oakland to New York for Kenny Rogers, and Kenny Rogers has done a nice job out in Oakland.
Winning last night, as a matter of fact.
Where he was buried in New York.
There's a fly ball into left center field. Kenny Lofton on the move, and he will get there for that one as well. 3 fly ball outs. We will head to the bottom of the 3rd. As a matter of fact, keep looking at Kenny because he will lead off. Then be followed by Omar Vizquel and Manny Ramirez. Number 3 tonight at Jacobs Field, a sold-out house. A lot of excitement for this 4-game series and a chance to watch Orlando Hernandez as Lofton bunts it foul. Kenny struck out swinging his first time up. The Indians have had 4 base runners. This is the second time around for this lineup against El Duque, as they call him.
Kenny has been utilizing his legs. A couple bunt base hits in the Kansas City series. He had 4 infield hits. Then hit a big 3-run homer yesterday to get him back into the ball game.
It's this one hard down the right field line. He'll not get to that one. It's against the bottom of the fence, and Lofton is racing towards second base. He goes in standing up with his 11th double.
I'll tell you, Kenny has been much quicker inside. He is just reacting in, looking for that ball away, and Hernandez throws the fastball in. They try to get it in. Look how quick that swing is by Kenny Lofton. Right from the set position through the hitting area, it goes off the screen of the bullpen in the Yankees. That's a great shot right there from that camera angle, and Kenny realizes with the good arm O'Neill has, he better kick it in gear and gets double number 11 to lead off the bottom of the 3rd.
The Indians had a runner in scoring position in the first inning with 2 outs. Now they have a runner in scoring position here in the 3rd with nobody out. 3rd hit for the Indians. Brocious has to respect the possibility of the bunt as he cheats in at 3rd, and there is the bunt. Brocious will have to play it to 1st. He gets Vizquel by a half a step, and Lofton's at 3rd with 1 out.
Well, a good job by Omar moving the runner. Gets a sacrifice. 5. Is that 5-3? There you see Brocious coming in, forces him to field the ball, and yes, it is. It's a sack 5-3, but it pushes Lofton to 3rd base, and these are the little things you're going to have to do against the Yankees to be successful.
Well, as you said, in the keys to victory, you got to turn it up. You got to get up and play at the level of the team that you're facing.
Well, I'm sure the Indians will now. This is what you call winning baseball. They got him on,
and the infield is in.
They get him over. Now you get him in.
The Yankees early here in the bottom of the 3rd bring that infield in as it is fouled away. One out. Lofton 90 feet away from giving the Indians the early lead tonight. Look at a pitch that was down and in that evens the count at 1 ball 1 strike. After defecting from Cuba, he went to a Caribbean island of Anguilla Cay and then was picked up there by the Coast Guard, and rather than come to the United States, he went to Costa Rica first.
That way he was became a free agent.
Inside for ball 2, 2-1.
See, they've been basically staying fastballs with Ramirez with that man on 3rd base. And he's showing him a little different arm angle this at bat.
2 balls, 1 strike. Went for one way out of the strike zone. He really dropped down on him that time.
Yeah, and that time came with the breaking ball. So Manny not staying back, getting out on the front foot and chasing that breaking ball for strike 2. See that sidearm angle, that ball way in the left-handed batter's box. 81 miles per hour, but he was able to get Manny to chase.
2-2. Hernandez trying to pitch his way out of some 3rd inning trouble. Lofton began with a double. Vizquel bunted him to 3rd. And now Ramirez trying to give the Indians the lead. Another breaking ball, but this time he does not go for it. So it's 3-2. guy gets men on base, he really slows down, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, they want to get on the same page. First time facing here, he wants to try and get this out here. Posada, they just don't agree.
Glad to have you with us tonight on Fox Sports Ohio. Settle back and enjoy a matchup between two teams who met last year in the postseason, the Yankees and the Indians. Oh, what a 5-game series that was.
I'll tell you, the Indians, you know, people didn't give them any chance to win that series. They came back to win, came back in Game 4, and then ended up winning Game 5. And who can forget that play Jim Thome made? And then what a great series against Baltimore. They weren't supposed to win that one. And then I think you go to the World Series playing Florida. They were supposed to win it, and they lose it in 7.
Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. Unfortunately, it's 3-2. Struck him out. Well, let's check in right now with Matt Underwood.
John, talking to Yankee pitching coach Mel Stottlemyre before today's game, he said it's important to remember that when Livan Hernandez, Orlando's half-brother, fled Cuba, Orlando was taken off the Cuban national team, so he really didn't pitch that much the last 2 years, and it was important not to rush him to the big leagues, maybe a mistake that they had made with Hideki Irabu last year. And Stottlemyre says one of the things he's really impressed with by Hernandez is how accurate he is despite all the various arm angles he delivers the ball from.
Yeah, you're right, Matt, and we have seen that already tonight. He steps off, but there's nobody there. Lofton does back up a bit at third. Jim Thome with 2 outs, center runner at third. Jim walked his first time up. So he's still at 325 on the season. Takes ball 1 low and away.
That was the amazing thing that Louis Tiant did, but Louis would really turn that shoulder back. Almost you'd see his numbers. With Hernandez, he just gives you very different arm angles. He doesn't really turn his back to home plate. Just got a high, quick leg kick.
Jim Thome didn't like that one. It's 1-1.
Well, you'll see Posada sliding outside. And there's Wincan. Catch a break there. If you get that pitch all night, I'll tell you.
It'd be tough to hit, wouldn't
Yes, you will.
It's 1-1. His off-speed pitch is well outside. A changeup, 78 miles an hour. 2 balls and a strike. Now, 2 of the Indians' 3 hits have come by left-handed batters, and 2 of the walks issued by Hernandez, 2 left-handers tonight. Working on Jim Thome. Thome fouls it back, so it evens out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we at Fox Sports Ohio would like to extend a very special hello and welcome to those of you watching us on Grafton Cable in Grafton and Orwell TV in Orwell, Ohio. Two and two. The Indians have had a couple of chances. Runners in scoring position in 2 of the first 3 innings tonight. The 2-2 to Thome is in the dirt and blocked by Posada. So it's full at 3-2. Remember, he went full on Ramirez and struck him out on a breaking ball.
Well, again, a situation where I don't think they're going to give in to Jim Thome. They may attack him right there with that same breaking ball. And maybe go change up away.
Thome walked his first time up, his 47th. He is again among the league leaders in the American League in free passes. Thome strikes out, so he strikes out 2. Got him on the changeup. The inning is over. We're still scoreless after 3. The Yankees will go back to work in the 4th inning, and as they do so with Knobloch, Soho, and Paul O'Neill.
Cleveland Indians baseball on Fox Sports Ohio was brought to you by the Ohio Lottery. Feel lucky. And by First Merit.
From the heart of downtown Cleveland, it's Indians baseball. And it'll be Knobloch, Soho, and O'Neill, as we showed you, the top of the order coming up for the Yankees. Nagy has been dictating the counts for the most part. This is a tapper foul, so of the 10 guys that he's faced, he's been first pitch strike on 7 of them.
You can continue your all-star balloting right now through Sunday to vote for your favorite Indians or other deserving players for the CompUSA All-Star balloting. Midsummer Classic, Colorado, July 7th. Just 3 more days. Boy, that came and went in a hurry, didn't it?
It sure did. Nice to see Jim Thome getting the recognition that he deserves. He's having an all-star season. No question about it. Line to short. Well, Indian fans, only Jim Thome and Royal Chevrolet in Aurora can lease you a 98 Chevy Blazer for $299 per month for 36 months. No down payment, only $599 due at delivery. Call Royal Chevrolet at 1-800-755-2334 for full lease details. Question for Rick Manning online from Kevin in Euclid. As we have one out, and the pitch to Soho, who grounded out to short as a strike. Did you ever do any DHing in your playing career?
No, I think a couple of games I might have filled in for somebody. I don't never recall starting a game DHing, to be honest with you. They wanted me out in center field shaking those flies down.
That's why you have that gold glove at your house. That's what you were paid a lot of money to do that, right?
That's right. Well, I enjoy defense, though.
And I think that's important. I think a lot of players today don't take as much pride in defense as the older players. Do you think?
Well, I think some players do, but I mean, that's something that you have to work at just as hard as you do hitting to be a very good defensive player.
Popped up to Bell at second base. He backs out on the grass. Charles Nagy has retired the first 11 men that he has faced tonight, and it'll be Paul O'Neill.
I know that guy at shortstop we have enjoys playing defense.
Not kidding. And he takes pride in it. He works hard at it. Anytime you're at batting practice, you see Omar, after he gets through hitting, even if he's not taking ground balls from one of the coaches, he'll be at shortstop. That's how he gets such a feel for what's happening.
Taking throws at second base from other people, and yeah, he's constantly working on his game.
O'Neill flied out to left his first time up. The Yankees have hit 4 warning track fly ball outs so far. We're in the top half of inning number 4. The breaking ball has bounced into or off of his own dugout. So it's 1-1. He picked up by Jose Cardinal, and he will flip it into the crowd.
Boy, this is a guy that's pretty intense when he gets into that batter's box. Charlie had him fooled in his first at bat, and he just slapped his bat after he hit it back behind Sandy Alomar.
He goes the other way with this one. Witten will watch it go up and off the wall. He plays the carom. Here's the throw to second, and they missed the tag. Looked like they had him dead to rights, and somehow he got in there.
Well, he didn't slide until after David caught the ball, and I don't know if David was backpedaling or not, but Rick Reed at second base was standing right there, and a strong throw. I knew Witten was going to have a chance at him. He played it nicely. You see, he had to go back, and it's a late slide. Awfully close.
He did get the hand in there.
Awfully close. Let's see this. See, boy, that's close. He was right there, though. Reed standing right there, got the corner of the bag. See, as he takes that extra step.
Looks like he tagged him right there.
He got him.
Yeah, he tagged him before his hand got there.
That was the angle, but it goes as a double.
And a chance for the Yankees to score. That's their first hit, first base runner after Nagy had retired the first 11. Now it's Martinez who hit the ball to the wall in right field. Manny Ramirez jumped up and made the play on it. So the string is over. And Witten played that perfectly. He knew he couldn't catch it, so he just got himself in position, barehanded, made a good throw, and the Yankees got the call. 2-0. Martinez at the plate. And Tim Raines to follow. Each team now has a double in the ballgame. Lofton doubled to start the bottom of the 3rd inning, but got no farther than third base thanks to some good pitching by Hernandez. Here's a strike, 2-1. After the double, then the sacrifice bunt, which set it up, he came back to strike out Ramirez and Thome. Manny on a breaking ball and Thome on a changeup, right?
That is correct.
2-1 to Martinez. Strike 2. Threw that in a good spot.
Yeah, and that ball came back over home plate. That was an excellent pitch. It's almost like the left-hander gives up on this pitch. Look at Borders sliding in, and that ball drops right in on the inside corner. Fastball that moves back over the plate. Excellent pitch. Shaves the inside edge.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
See, with first base open, that's what you do. If you miss with that pitch, you're going to miss in off the plate. That's got to be a perfect pitch, because if you make a mistake, that ball can be hit a long way.
O'Neill at second with his 22nd double of the season. Time is called. Pat Borders will go out to have a word with Charles Nagy. By the way, in Charles' defense, he did trot out those new baby pictures and show both of us last night after the game, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Well, you gave him some abuse. He was all over you.
Discover Card is going to donate $500 to the local chapter of the Make-A-Wish Foundation for every Grand Slam in tonight's game. Yes, as soon as we walked in the clubhouse, he wanted me to know that he did have the baby picture.
Yeah, because you got him in trouble.
It's 2-2. You see Borders moving outside. The pitch is a breaking ball hit toward Witten in left field. A 2-out double, but no damage. The game is still scoreless as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning.
Indians baseball on Fox Sports Ohio is brought to you by Dodge. See your friendly Dodge dealers today. And by the Discover Card. It pays to discover.
Ready for the bottom of the 4th inning. The Yankees had their first scoring opportunity there in the top half of this 4th inning. The Indians have had a couple of shots at Hernandez, but give him credit. He's made the pitches when he had to, getting the 2 strikeouts with the Indians' Kenny Lofton at third and 1 out. Now it's Travis Fryman, who fouled out to Tino Martinez his first time up. He jams him again. He pops this one into shallow right, not blocked. And it's not handled by Martinez. He'll track it down as Fryman's going to be at second. That was a tough play.
Well, you know, anytime a first baseman has his back to the infield, you're absolutely right. That is a tough play for them.
You know, that's why I was looking at Knobloch. I figured the angle, maybe he's got a better shot at it.
I was looking at O'Neill in right field, and I saw him cruising, so I felt that if anybody's going to catch it, you see Knobloch take a peek, and he lets Martinez go ahead and take it. That's got to be a double right there for Travis Fryman. Second straight inning, the Indians started it off with a double. That's an awfully tough play for a first baseman.
And the Indians now with 4 hits, and 3 of them have been of the bloop or flare variety, but you'll take it, right?
You're darn right.
Here's Justice. He got a base hit his first time up as he dropped one in front of Tim Raines in left field. You know, what Dave has been missing of late are runs batted in. He's only had 3 in his last 67 times to the plate.
Well, that's what the Indians need, is this guy to get going, because if they can get him going, Kenny's starting to pick it up a bit. Tomey's been very consistent. Manny
puts it on the ground to the right side. Martinez will play it on to Hernandez. And for the 2nd inning in a row, the Indians will have a runner at third and 1 out.
Well, productive out for David Justice.
Our next game right back here tomorrow night. We'll start with Indians game time at 6:30, and included in that will be live coverage of some of the ceremonies and the retirement of Bob Feller's number 21. Rick Manning will be part of that, and then we'll have the play-by-play game 2 of the series. Jarrett Wright and David Cohn right here on Fox Sports Ohio. 1 out, and again, 2nd straight inning. The Yankees have to bring the infield in. Witten hit the ball hard his first time up, but he hit it right at Tino Martinez, who turned it into a 3-6-3 double play. Mark's batting average has been higher from the right side than the left, but his power has been from the left. And even though he'd like a fly ball here, he finds himself down no balls 2 strikes, and this is what Hernandez did when the Indians had this situation in the 3rd inning.
Well, this guy is pitching. Started him off with a backdoor breaking ball for strike 1. Then when you're looking out there as a hitter, he follows that up with a changeup and swings over it. That changeup must be awfully tough to the left-handers.
Breaking ball misses. Marched off the mound like he wanted the call, but didn't get it. Now he's checking the count with the umpire and his catcher. Oh, he says, you mean that was a strike 3?
Yeah, that's really what he wanted.
I know it. I know that's what he wants.
So what's the count now?
You sure it's not 0-3? that. Borders is on deck. The infield is up. Witten swings at a ball in the dirt. They'll have to throw him out at first, but it is strikeout number 4.
Well, those are the situations you have to take advantage of early in a ball game where they can come back to haunt you. And the thing of it is they're swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. Mark Witten back-to-back changeups. And they will throw him out. They will keep Fryman at third base. And now Hernandez a chance to get out of a second straight inning with a leadoff double.
Borders got a base hit his first time up to extend his hitting streak to 5 games in a row. He's 7 for his last 16. Pat in his second season as the Indians backup catcher. Doing most of the playing right now with the shoulder problems of Sandy Alomar. Ball 1. Pat and Travis Fryman have 2 of the 4 hits. The other damage that has been done and has not produced runs has been done by left-handed batters against Hernandez. It's a good breaking ball. He kind of flinched at it and took it for a strike.
Well, he hasn't left many breaking balls middle of the plate or upstairs. He's really had good one. Good break to him. Outside edge or off the plate when he has missed.
See if he tries to come back inside to Borders after that pitch away. He rolls it foul, 1-2.
Well, the Cleveland Indian team shops have a wide array of merchandise for fans of all ages. There's a convenient Indians team shop near you, including Summit Mall in Fairlawn, Westgate Mall in Fairview Park, and the Galleria at Erie right in downtown Cleveland.
And of course, the one here at the ballpark doing some business this weekend, wouldn't you think?
It does business every day.
2 outs. Fryman is on at third. Borders strikes out. So the same scenario as the third. We're still scoreless after 4. Little part of tonight's contest. The Indians another good chance, Rick. They've gotten them on, gotten them over, but haven't been able to get them in.
Well, Hernandez has done a good job in situations just like that. And you know, you got to expect that, I guess, when you come into a series like this, because these 2 teams lead the league in ERA, so you would expect some very fine pitching.
We've had it from both sides tonight. The Indians have 4 hits. The Yankees have 1. It has been a double. The Indians have had 2 doubles, 2 singles, and a couple of walks. Raines takes a strike. Tim grounded out to second base his first time up. Hit the first pitch that he saw from Charles Nagy. Nagy has retired 12 of the first 13 batters tonight, including the first 11 in a row. On the inside corner, strike 2 is called.
Boy, Charlie has been able to spot that fastball tonight, and that's a pitch that's very effective. He's got to do, because he likes to throw a lot of breaking balls and sinkers, but when he's throwing that pitch right there for a strike, he'll be awfully tough.
He's ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Raines now 0 for 6 on this road trip. And he has to jump out of the way. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. He didn't play in the Yankees win in Baltimore yesterday. The previous day he had batted leadoff for the first time since August of last year. They got him back down in the number 5 spot tonight behind Tino Martinez.
Well, in his prime, he was the premier leadoff hitter, wasn't he?
He sure was. He could do it all. He had great speed. He could steal bases. He could hit home runs. He just had a terrific career, and his son was just drafted.
Just signed by the Orioles, as a matter of fact.
Right. 3-2 pitch to Raines, and he goes the other way. Oh, an error. And number 41 with the Nagy shirt.
He can't believe it. He brought his glove. He's been waiting for a ball like this forever. He gets it and does not make the play. He'll go home empty-handed unless he gets another. Look at him, dejected.
2 hands, baby.
That's right. Here, you take it. I've had enough. I didn't like that glove anyway.
Oh well.
Hang with him.
3-2. Raines steps out.
Well, they can't get together on a sign right here, and I'm thinking that after Raines goes outside and hits that ball on the line, he may want to come back in with a fastball.
Well, the last one missed. Let's see what he does here. He goes with a breaking ball down and in and walks his first man. It's the second base runner for New York and the first time they've had the leadoff man aboard.
Well, for all you boys and girls ages 7 to 14, there are still spots remaining for the Indians Fox Sports Ohio Baseball Skills Competition presented by University Hospitals Health System. Registration forms are available at all Indians team shops or by calling the number on your screen, and there is walk-up registration for the event this Saturday at Solon Community Park.
Rains at first, and Darryl Strawberry, who flied out to deep center field. Strawberry takes a ball, and we would like to extend greetings to the children at the Muscular Dystrophy Association Summer Camp at Hiram House in Chagrin Falls. They are watching the game tonight. Happy to have you with us.
It's my old stomping ground, Chagrin Falls.
That's right. Didn't name any streets after you there, though. Strawberry takes a strike, 1-1. He's been very generous with that spot to both pitchers tonight. Low and outside, the left-handed batters. It's 1-1. Charles Nagy making his 15th start of the season. Strawberry hits a fly ball to deep right. Ramirez is back at the warning track near the wall. It's up against the wall. Rains around second on his way to third. Strawberry has the second double for New York, and the Yankees have him stacked up at second and third with nobody out.
Well, that ball looked like it might have had a little spin on it because it looked like it might have gotten inside a little bit on Darryl Strawberry. He's just so strong and muscles this ball out. Manny Ramirez, what happened, that ball went the other way on him. As he broke back, you'll see it short hops the wall, picks it on the hop, and keeps the guys at second and third now. But the Yankees with a threat here, nobody out in the top half of the fifth.
And as the Yankees did in the third and fourth innings, the Indians forced in this 0-0 ball game to bring the infield in. So now they need something at somebody by Posada, who flied out to left his first time up. If he does that here, New York will have the lead. We're scoreless. First pitch is a ball. It's the second double. Both the Yankee hits have been doubles. The leadoff walk is what has Rains at third. Nobody out. Chad Curtis to follow. All three of the next guys coming up, Posada, Curtis, and Brocious, hit fly ball outs. He rolls that one into the Indians dugout, and the count is a ball and a strike. Charles needs the ball at an infielder or the pop up of the strikeout here if he can get it. He's not struck out anybody so far. Hernandez with 5 strikeouts, including 4 in the last 2 innings with a runner at third. Strike 2 is called.
Another one of the fastballs that comes back over the plate. Porter's sitting in, and there it is. Good late movement, tailing back to catch the corner.
Posada is a switch hitter. The second one the Yankees have ever had to play any games of any note. 2-2. The other was Butch Weiniger in the early 80s.
Well, a good pitch, but he could not get Posada to chase it. That's awfully close.
I think that has been a strike in this game before. It wasn't that time. The 2-2 pitch, and he gets the strikeout. He got a piece of it, but Borders held on.
You know what he did? He came right back with the same pitch to get the strikeout. This time Posada couldn't hold up on it and goes after it. He does get a piece of it, but Borders makes a nice play to hold on to it. It's the same pitch as before, only this one might have been a little lower and out of the zone. That first one was tough to lay off. This one, he gets him to chase. So Charlie now with 1 out.
And you could see Tim Tachita just double checking, looking over the shoulder of Borders to make sure the ball was in the glove. It was. It's the first out. They're going to intentionally walk Curtis and work instead to Brocious.
Well, what they're going to do now is so they can drop their middle infielders back, go for a double play. Go with the percentages here, put Curtis on. But then Charlie's going to have to see if he can get the ground ball. Checking for Brocious this year. He's only grounded into 1 double play on the year.
And the first time up, he hit the ball in the air to center field. To the warning track.
Well, this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians and Fox Sports Ohio.
Plenty of excitement in a jam-packed ballpark as the New York Yankees are in town for the first time this season. The Yankees will have to make up a couple of games. A 2-game series in September becomes a 4-game series with a twilight doubleheader.
To see how many games the Yankees have to make up this year.
They have a bunch. They have a lot of work to do.
They've only played 64 ball games.
The battle now between Nagy and Brocious, with the bases loaded and 1 out. Strike 1. Line in the left field, base hit. That will score 1, and New York takes the lead. Scott Brocious with his 4th run batted in against Charles Nagy in his career. Sharp single to left moves everybody up 90 feet, and Raines scores the run. That leadoff walk comes back to hurt Charles Nagy.
Boy, he stayed back nicely on this and just drills this ball to left field. It's so sharply, there's no chance. All the runners are just going to advance a base. The Indians have broken this tie. They now take a 1-0 lead.
Their 3rd hit of the ball game. This inning has also featured a couple of walks, 1 intentional, 1 not intentional. Knobloch lined out to short his last time up. He was also grounded out to 3rd. Not an easy guy to double either, is he?
No, he's not.
He bounces a foul outside of 3rd. New York leads it 1-0. Strike 2 is called. The Yankees have had 7 postponements. April 3rd at Oakland. That one would be played on August the 4th. April 13th at Anaheim. That'll be played on August the 24th. April 14th at Anaheim. That'll be played as part of a day-night doubleheader on August 26th. We had one rained out in Kansas City. That'll be replayed on August the 7th. And the Indians games will be replayed in September. There's another one even April 26th against Detroit, and they have not announced when that one will be made up.
We're going to have to extend the season just for the Yankees to get all their games in.
That one works its way into the seats down the right field line. Remains no balls, 2 strikes. So that's what you were looking for. There's a whole list of games to be made up by the New York Yankees. The way they're playing doesn't matter, I guess, when they play them, huh? 48 wins and just 16 losses. Atlanta is 49-22. Anaheim and Texas have also won 40 games so far as they battle in the American League West. That's through the right side, base hit. 1 run is in. They're going to wave Curtis. Here comes the throw from Ramirez, and they put up the stop sign after Chad had rounded 3rd. 2-0 New York. Well, Knobloch delivers a base hit to right, picks up his 26th run batted in, and the inning continues.
And Knobloch went out and got a pretty good pitch. You see Borders sitting way off the plate. That ball trying to come back. He just went with it. Hits it by David Bell into right field. The Yankees now with 4 hits, and they increase it to 2-0. And still, just 1 out, they have the bases loaded.
Well, this is what we saw last night from the Kansas City Royals. Timely hitting. The Yankees got their opportunity, aided by that leadoff walk, and they have made the most of it. Still just 1 out in the inning. Nagy's still a double play away from being out of this inning with Luis Sojo coming up.
Well, let me remind you, there's approximately 2,500 tickets left for the 105 game. That'll be on Tuesday, July 21st against the Boston Red Sox. They will go on sale Monday, June 22nd. That begins at noon. The tickets will be available at the Jacobs Field box office at the Cleveland Indians team shops or at all Ticketmaster outlets or by calling 216-241-8888. And there will be a limit of 8 tickets per purchase. Bases
still loaded. Still 1 out. Brocious and Knobloch delivering RBI base hits with the bases loaded, and Nagy gets ahead of Soho. No balls, 1 strike. With his 0 for 2, Soho slips back up under 300. He hits a ground ball to short. They'll go to Bell for 1. On to Tomey, double play. But the Yankees get 2 and lead by 2 at the midway point. Half of the 5th inning tonight. David Bell, Kenny Lofton, Omar Vizquel due up against Orlando Hernandez. And Charles finally got that double play ball that he needed. And the big at bat of the game, Rick, if you look back, might be to Tim Raines, because Charles had him no balls, 2 strikes. Eventually walked him, and he came around to get that whole thing started.
Yes, he did.
The other walk by Nagy in the inning was intentional to Chad Curtis. And what followed after that walk was a base hit to left by Brocious to drive in a run, and a base hit to right by Knobloch to drive in another run before Soho grounded into the inning-ending double play. 2 balls to Bell, and he fouls it back, 2-1.
See, that's where you get the count in your favor. 2-0. He got the fastball away, but just happened to foul it off.
And David is struggling right now at the plate. He's 0 for his last 14.
Well, that ball he hit last night got Rosado out of the game. That guy was pitching brilliant. He hit a bullet. It just hit Rosado.
A piece of that one to even it out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yes, if Rosado's not standing there, it's into center field in a heartbeat. But Hernandez has been tough when he's gotten in trouble. In the 3rd and the 4th, the Indians had a runner at 3rd and 1 out, and he proceeded to strike out the next 2 batters in each case. Ramirez and Tomey in the 3rd, Whitten and Borders in the 4th, and he strikes out Bell to make it 3 strikeouts in a row. Let's check out our DIY Home Warehouse game recap at the midway point tonight. Hernandez has been tough. He's got 6 strikeouts now in the ball game. Charles Nagy's thrown 72 pitches. So has Hernandez as he pitches here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Indians are 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. The Yankees have capitalized so far. Kenny Lofton extending his hitting streak to 5 in a row. He's now 10 for his last 17. 10 for 18. He struck out and doubled. He pulled a double to right. And things have, as you mentioned, started to come together. And I think the bunting has probably helped him. He's been looking away a lot in terms, but he's still been able to turn on the pitches when they come inside.
I think that's a good when Kenny's there. It keeps him on the ball, and he just reacts in, and he's been able to pull a couple pitches very hard.
Shows bunt, but takes ball 2 downstairs.
You know, when you can't get that fastball in there on Kenny, you're in trouble, because he'll look that way, he'll bunt that way, he'll go the other way. And he's terrific when he's on base because he makes things happen.
There's a strike. It's 2-1. Lofton has got his average up to 286 now with his 1 for 2 tonight, and his mini surge here, hitting in 5 straight games, going back to Sunday in New York when he went 3 for 3, including a homer. Off-speed breaking ball is in for strike 2.
Well, Hernandez certainly has an assortment of off-speed pitches. This is the curveball that comes on the backside. The left-handers he's been throwing that. He's also got an excellent changeup. That's it right there.
And he missed with it low and away to make it 3-2.
See, the curveball was at 72 miles an hour. The changeup at 77, and his fastball has been between 88 and 90. There's 3 variations of speeds right there.
Lofton goes the other way, base hit into center field. Kenny stayed back well that time, reached out and drilled that 88-mile-an-hour fastball for a base hit.
Watch how Kenny keeps the hands back. He gets out, keeps the hands back. That was an excellent pitch by Hernandez. That ball down and away. Look at that pitch. Now that's certainly a pitcher's pitch, but Kenny does a nice job. So you tip your hat to Lofton as he gets the 5th hit, his 2nd in a row.
Vizquel has no official at-bats. He's walked and sacrificed tonight. The Indians have had base runners in every inning so far.
Well, we'll see if Kenny now has a read on Hernandez.
Let me ask you about a base stealer and what your approach to it was. When you're on the bench, is it easier to try to figure him out when you're at first than it is watching on the bench?
Well, yeah, unless you're in the first base dugout where you can see his backside and look for something to. Oh, Kenny had to flinch. See, it's tougher from the third base dugout because you're looking at the front of him. When you're at first base, you're looking at the back of him, and you're going to look at the front side of his body. I don't care if it's the back of his knee, his hip, maybe even his front heel. But there's going to be something that he's going to tip when he goes to the plate. That's the angle you want to see it from.
He does come to the plate and misses high and away.
And there have been times what he does just to this point when we've had runners on first is change the rhythm. You know, he'll hold it one time, he'll start a little quicker, and there is times where he'll lift that leg when he wants to throw a breaking ball.
It's pretty obvious that even though he's very young to American baseball, that this guy knows how to pitch.
Oh yeah, baseball is baseball no matter where you play it, but I mean when you get it at this level.
It's 1-1 as he gets the breaking ball into Vizquel. Game one of a big 4-game weekend series between these two teams. The Yankees leading the East, the Indians leading the Central. And Lofton draws a third throw over by Orlando Hernandez. He's only lost one game in his professional career. He was in A-ball down in Tampa. Lofton has to scoot back again 4 times. He has gone over there.
There's not many times you see Kenny diving back. You know, he doesn't have a great lead. He's just going back. It's not a quick dive where it's urgent, but most of the times he goes back standing up.
Like that.
So he's just going to wait until he gets a feel that he can get a read.
Well, the one thing that is happening with the 5 times he's gone over, at least he's getting a look at what he does in these situations. He has come over the first 5 times. Now he goes through a set of signs with his catcher. Vizquel hits it on the ground. Could be 2. There's the flip to Soho on to first. And the Yankees return the favor. A double play by New York. Their second of the night ends the 5th inning. Top half of inning number 6. O'Neill, who doubled with 2 outs in the 4th inning, will bat. The Yankees have a 2-0 lead. The Indians now have out-hit the Yankees 5-4. This one is hit on 2 hops to Jim Thome. 1 pitch and 1 out as we start inning number 6. Let's check in for a second time tonight with Matt Underwood.
John, Yankee shortstop Derek Jeter is beginning a brief, really brief rehab assignment for the Yankees tonight. He's with Columbus. They're in Durham, North Carolina. He's expected to be activated from the disabled list with that strained abdominal muscle tomorrow. Last night, Jeter took live batting practice with the Yankees in Baltimore, and then during the game in the 4th inning, he was hit on the hand by a splintered bat. That bat belonged to, of all people, Luis Soho, the guy who is replacing him right now at shortstop.
2 pitches, 2 outs. Check out our Lowe's Nose. This day in Major League Baseball history, June 18, 1950. 14 runs in the 1st inning, and they went on to a squeaker 21-2 over the Philadelphia A's. Tell you what, we have not had any real lopsided games. We had the big shutout against the Pirates, and then the win in the middle game of the series against Kansas City, kind of lopsided, but for the most part everything's been pretty tight-fisted in the last couple of weeks.
Well, yeah, the starting pitchers have been fantastic, and they have not given up a lot of runs, and offensively they really haven't gotten on a surge and scored many runs.
Well, coming into tonight, in the last 20 games, the starters with a 12-5 record and a 2.66 ERA. The staff itself 12-8 in those 20 games with a 2.76 earned run average.
Doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No, it does not. 1-1 on Raines with 2 outs. Bases empty. Top half of inning number 6. Raines fouls it back. A reminder about Tribe Take 2. We'll have it for you tomorrow at noon on Fox Sports Ohio. A condensed 2-hour version of tonight's ball game, and I think the one that played Wednesday didn't cut out anything, did we?
No.
Following the effort by Cologne.
2-hour and 8-minute game.
Raines Indians again jackknifes out of the way to even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good pitching matchups throughout this series, starting with tonight as we get our first look at Hernandez. Has been everything that has been advertised. As for the second straight time, Nagy goes to 3-2 on Tim Raines.
And that's how he's been trying to get Tim Raines out. He's been going inside with that fastball, and they've just been in off the plate. He hasn't been able to hit that inside corner.
Full count. This one is chopped for David Bell. He'll have to hurry. Throws in time. The Yankees go in order. We'll go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Indians will have the heart of the order. Ramirez, Tomey, and Fryman.
Baseball on Fox Sports Ohio is brought to you by your Chevy Network dealers. It's where Northeast Ohio is going. Your Chevy is ready. By BW3 Grill and Pub, the home of the real wing and a preferred restaurant of the tribe. And by DIY Home Warehouse, for all of the comforts of your home.
Ready to go back to work here in the bottom half of the 6th inning at Jacobs Field tonight. Ramirez, who struck out his last time up, man, he's 0 for 2. He will lead it off. I knew it was a Yankee series when I was driving to the ballpark coming down 14th Street. I got behind somebody with Ohio plates on their car, but it was a vanity plate that said Bronx.
Obviously, they moved here from New York, huh?
Guess so. We'll check out our Sherwin-Williams scoreboard during this half of the inning. Hernandez to Ramirez, and it's ball 1 on a breaking pitch. As we told you earlier, we do now have 2 10-game winners as Aaron Seeley picked up number 10 for Texas this afternoon. 2 balls, no strikes. He wants to stay away to those right-handers, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yankees got both runs in the 5th inning. RBI singles to Brocious and Chuck Knobloch as it's skied to shallow left center field. Curtis makes the call and the catch. Sherwin-Williams scoreboard. First of all, the American League tonight. It is a 3-2 win by the Rangers. Kansas City leads Detroit in the 5th inning tonight. Boston 5-3 over Tampa there in the 7th. Toronto 4-0 over Baltimore in the 5th inning. 3-0 Minnesota leading the White Sox in Chicago, and Anaheim and Seattle coming up. What about the NL?
Arizona over Cincinnati 4-2. 3-2 Florida over Atlanta. Chicago beating Philadelphia 12-5. Mets and Montreal 3-2 in the 6th. No score in Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, St. Louis, and Houston. The rest of the games are later on.
Now that's the 2nd straight pitch to Jim Thome, and that spot in the zone that has been called a strike. And it's almost in a spot that's unhittable. And he takes that one. It evens the count. Paul Sorrento is homered for Tampa Bay along with Kelly. For Paul, his 8th. Kelly hit his 4th. Cordova, a home run for Minnesota. Number 5. It came in the 2nd inning of that game tonight. And let's see how they pitched Jim Thome in his last at bat by checking out supervision. They tried to do to Jim.
Everything was away. See that one fastball at 93 up and in, but everything away and away, and variations of speeds.
Jim has walked and struck out so far tonight. There's a bouncer to second base. Hopper to Knobloch. He takes care of Jim Thome, and there are 2 outs here in the 6th inning. By the way, in that 4-2 win for Arizona over Cincinnati, they get their first ever sweep on the road to the Diamondbacks. Anderson got the win. He's 5th of the year. Krivda and Shaw also pitched in that ball game for Cincinnati. And Florida beating Atlanta 3-2. That denies Glavine his 10th win of the year. He is 9-3 as he took the loss. Bouncing ball to third, another 2-hopper, and this is an easy inning for Hernandez. We move to the 7th, 2-0 New York. Darryl Strawberry doubled and scored in that 2-run New York 5th. That's the difference in the ball game. Plenty of home runs at Wrigley Field today. Brown hit 3 for the Cubbies. Strawberry takes the strike. Hernandez hit 1, and Rodriguez hit his 13th. For the Phillies, Roland with number 14. Guerrero is homered for Montreal tonight, his 13th, and White also hit his 13th home run tonight. Strawberry also flied out to deep center field in this ball game. Pops that one foul and out of play. Let's check out our Wendy's trivia question for tonight's ball game. It's brought to you by Wendy's Old Fashioned Hamburgers, where quality is our recipe. The only player to appear in 500 games for 4 different teams: the Mets, the Tigers, the Astros, and the Expos. That's a line toward Lofton in center field. He makes the play. That's not easy, is it, Rick?
No, that might be the toughest ball that an outfielder has, is that ball hit right at you. So this will be our Discover Card playback for Kenny Lofton. A bullet off the bat of Darryl Strawberry. Kenny just continues to come in and make a nice sliding catch. That ball hit right at you. You don't know if it's going to take off or it's going to sink, but you'll see Kenny going to his knees and putting it away for out number 1.
Brings up Jose Posada. One strike on him. He struck out his last time up. That's the only strikeout that Charles Nagy had. It came with runners at second and third, nobody out. In the intentional walk and a couple of RBI singles followed, and that's the difference in the ball game right now. Is it's 1-1.
Well, at this point, Charlie has pitched a fine ball game. It's just this is what happens the last couple times he's been out there. Offensively, they haven't been able to get on track on his day.
And sometimes it's not how you pitch, it's when you pitch. Of course, Charles,
that's how it is most of the time.
He's been on the other side of that ledger too. Nights when he hasn't pitched that well and he's gotten victories. Looking for his 8th of the season tonight. He is 7-3 coming in. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. 2-2.
Charlie pulls the string on Posada here with the 2-1 count. Nice changeup, and you'll see him really pulling out, trying to hit that ball a mile.
Inside corner, and he strikes him out for the 2nd straight time.
And that is his 2 strikeouts on the night. This time he goes right back in there with the fastball. Posada thinking that ball is inside. Let's take a look at it high atop Jacobs Field on wing cam. Gets a call on the inside corner. I think that's the toughest pitch to get called, from an umpire, is that pitch in on the hands to any hitter, whether it's right-handed or left-handed.
The batter Curtis, who's flied out to deep center and been intentionally walked tonight. He takes ball 1. The Indians trailing 2-0. In the opener of this big 4-game weekend series. That's hit hard down the left field line. Witten will go over and watch it kip up against the wall. Curtis on his way to second as Mark has trouble handling the ball, so no chance for him to challenge Curtis, but with his speed I think that's a double all the way.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. That ball hit the grass first, so it killed it on the bounce, and he was going to have to barehand it anyway. Curtis turns on this off-speed pitch and drills it down the left field line. See, if it hits that track, it bounces up. He may have had a chance, but he was going to have to barehand it and make an excellent throw. But Curtis, better than average speed, cruises into second with a 2-out double. So that's the 3rd double for the Yankees tonight.
3 of their 5 hits have been doubles, and it was Strawberry's double that chased Range to third following the walk that set up the 2-run 5th inning. So now Charles Nagy deals with Scott Brocious, who reached him for a base hit and an RBI his last time up. Scott batting .315.
Bad for a 9th place hitter, huh? He's got 42 RBIs as well.
Not bad at all. And his foul at home plate and evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
He's a guy that struggled a little bit last year with the Oakland A's, but I think the year before he had his career year.
Yeah, that was when he hit 22 home runs.
Right.
For the Athletics and batted .304. He's always hit for pretty good average, but His power numbers were up, and then they were down last year. He had only 11 home runs last year, and he's already surpassed last year's RBI total.
Well, that's what happens when you take them. You're only as good as the hitters that surround you. You put him in a lineup like the Yankees with some excellent hitters, takes the pressure off him, where, you know, when they had McGuire and Steinbach, it was a little easier for him. But you take those guys out of the lineup, and it puts more pressure on him, and he's forced to do more things, and you just don't do it.
Good point. It's 2-1 on him here, with Curtis on at second. It's grounded to short. Vizquel makes the play, throws on to Thome, and the 2-out double, but no damage. Time for the 7th inning stretch in a 2-0 ball game. Ready now for the bottom half of the 7th inning. Hope you've been working on the Wendy's trivia question, because I think Rick and I might be all over this one.
Well, let's see. Online, we've got a question from Dennis and Solon. If the DH goes into the field to play a position, say, for example, David Justice, who's hitting right now, what happens to the batting order? Well, David can go into the field, but what happens? You lose your DH, and then all of a sudden the pitcher has to hit.
That is correct. Hits are even at 5 apiece, but the Yankees have a 2-0 lead. The Yankees have 4 shutouts to their credit. The first pitch is ball 1 to Justice, who has a base hit and has bounced out to first baseman Tino Martinez. 1 for 2 tonight. And he gets that call on the outside corner, and that, I say, one thing about the home plate umpire, he's been consistent. He's given that pitch to the outside of the left-handed batter. Just like that. That one a little low.
Well, I'll tell you what, El Duque's been hitting it all night long. This guy has amazed me with his control. I think Mel Stottlemyre's right. When you watch him pitch, he just, very few pitches have been down the middle of the plate. Boy, he's been on the edges, he's been down, and he's been changing speeds. Terrific.
2-2. Justice leading off the bottom of the 7th inning. Able to lay off of that breaking pitch in the dirt that runs it full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Indians in 4 consecutive innings, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, had the leadoff man aboard. Twice in the 3rd and 4th, that leadoff hit was a double. And they're still being shut out. 3-2. That time he did not get the call. Check out the answer to our Wendy's trivia question. The only guy to appear in 500 games for 4 different teams. Mets, Tigers, Astros, and Expos. And when he was with Montreal, they called him Le Grand Orange.
Orange, you got it. John was all over this. Rusty Staub. What a terrific career he had.
Here's Whitten. Grounded into a double play and struck out. 0 for 2 tonight. And the Indians, for the 5th time in 7 innings, have a leadoff man aboard. But yes, that's still a 0 you see in the Fox box. 2-0 New York. Yankees did all of their damage back in the 5th inning.
Well, Joe from Menor online wants to know if how often do starting pitchers practice from the stretch? And does a lack of practice lead to being ineffective with runners on base? Well, they go down on their side days and they will throw.
There's a base hit right field. Justice stops at second. Hit number 6 for the Indians, and they have a start to this 7th inning with 2 on and nobody out. You want to continue?
Yeah, I will, as soon as we see Mark Whitten swing right there on a nice changeup. That way he finally stayed back on it and hit it into right field. So now the Indians with another start to another inning, and see if they can capitalize on that.
Mel Stottlemyre is going to visit the mound, so this will give you a chance to go ahead and finish up your answer to that question.
All right, on days where starting pitchers, they will go out into the bullpen and work. They'll also work from the full windup, but also the stretch. I mean, they'll work on all their pitches, so they do get their work out of the stretch. It's not like they just do it when runners are on base.
And right now we want to check out our new Dodge home run leaders in the American League. Ken Griffey Jr. leads the way with 26. A-Rod has 24. And Juan Gonzalez, Jose Canseco, and Mo Vaughn of the Boston Red Sox. He is not yet serving that 5-game suspension that has been levied against him, so Mike Stanton warms up.
Did he appeal that? I wonder. He must be if he's still able to play.
The catcher, number 10, Pat Borders.
It'll be Pat Borders, who is 1 for 2. And this is the first time tonight that the crowd has really tried to get a little bit into this ball game. They've kind of been sitting on their heels a little bit, even though they had good starts, did the Indians, to several innings from the 2nd inning on.
Well, this is a situation where you're down 2, bottom of the 7th. You're certainly looking for the sacrifice to try and move the runners up. They have moved the runners tonight. They just have not gotten them home.
Well, back in the 3rd and the 4th innings, they had a runner at 3rd. Borders tries to bunt and misses. It's a strike. They had a runner at 3rd and 1 out, and we're not able to get that runner in. But if Pat can move them up, that'll give them a couple of shots at maybe tying the ball game with runners at 2nd and 3rd. No balls, 1 strike. This he bunts it, but it's going to be foul, so it'll be 0-2. Let's take off right now while we have a moment with Continental Airlines around the majors, and Dave, Steve is back with Toronto at 40 years of age. The Astros have signed a lease on their new stadium, which is going to be in downtown Houston in Arizona. As we just touched on briefly, their first ever 3-game series sweep that comes against the Reds in Synergy Field. Unfortunately for Jack McKeon and crew, huh? Well, here the Indians have 2 on and nobody out. Borders has tried to bunt twice, and he's down, no balls, 2 strikes. Plays off a breaking ball. One and 2. 101 pitches now for Orlando Hernandez.
It's not bad when you consider 26, was it, in the 1st inning?
Borders was going to bunt again. He pulled the bat back.
No, I think he was going to do that on his own, because Mike Hargrove looks like he took it off after the 0-2 count, and Borders right there, I think, with Brocious playing back behind 3rd, might have been bunting for a base hit. Gets the breaking ball away. Doesn't go after it, holds up.
We're in the bottom of the 7th. The game is 2 hours old at this point. A very well pitched, well played ball game to this point. The Indians have had their chances, have not been able to take advantage of their scoring opportunities, and the Yankees did. The one real good shot they had by getting 2 in the 5th inning. Again, that breaking ball nowhere near the strike zone, and it's 3-2. Well, this is what we've been waiting to hear, a little noise from the crowd, huh?
Well, they're waiting for some offense and some runs, and they usually get loud. The Borders going from 0-2 to 3-2.
Fastball is right there for strike 3.
Boy, and he comes back to make a perfect pitch.
That's his 7th strikeout of the night.
Comes down, he dropped that arm angle a little bit, and a lot of times that's been the breaking ball. But tonight, or on that pitch there to Pat Borders, a perfect pitch, outside edge, strike 3.
And that might have been his best fastball of the night at 90 miles an hour. Borders called out, then David Bell, who is 0 for 2. He has struck out and bounced in front of the plate. Was picked up by Posada, who threw him out. So there's an out. And every time he's gotten in trouble, he's used that strikeout to his advantage. Bell, chopper to 3rd. He'll go across the diamond. The throw is in time to take care of David. The runners move up. The tying runs are in scoring position for Kenny Lofton, who has 2 of the 6 hits tonight. David Bell back to the dugout now, 0 for his last 15. And Posada and Hernandez are going to talk about Kenny Lofton a little bit. The Indians get a couple of pitchers up in their bullpen as Plunk and Mormon begin to work. Charles Nagy has given up just 5 hits tonight, 3 of them doubles, and has allowed 2 runs. Lofton has a double and a single. Becomes the 3rd time in the last 5 innings that the Indians have had runners at third. This time it's 2nd and 3rd, so the tying runs are in scoring position for Kenny Lofton, but the Indians have not come through with the big hits so far tonight, and Lofton is down a strike.
Well, Kenny, first time when he hit his double, hit a fastball in. The second time up when he hit the single, hit the fastball away.
That was a fastball down and away. Justice had a walk to start the inning. Whitten singled to right. And Kenny's down, no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, fooled on this pitch, change up, and you'll see not a very good swing, so he's going to check out. And you know, you just wonder if they're feeling the pressure of trying to get that first run in, because they have had a couple opportunities tonight. Well, he's really got to go up there and battle now.
Yeah, the advantage definitely to Orlando Hernandez. Lofton pops it foul, stays alive. He just wasted that one. But that'll give him another pitch to look at.
Tell you what, Hernandez wanted that ball. He was out in front of the Indians dugout. Came all the way from the pitcher's mound.
Lofton batting with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Kenny has good numbers with runners in scoring position, a .328 average this year.
But the Indians in their last 2 games, 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position and 2 out.
They've got another shot at it right here. Last night they could not get the key hits. Lofton's 3-run homer was the offense for the Indians in that loss to the Royals. The 0-2 pitch, fouled it away. He got ahead of him with that changeup in the dirt, and he's come back with a couple of, well, that was a fastball anyway at 91 miles an hour.
Yeah, but I mean, to put those in play are awfully tough. He's making pitches that are off the plate. They're close enough where as a hitter you have to go out there and swing. You can't take that pitch because it's been called for a strike tonight.
That's exactly right. That pitch right there to the left-handers has been called a strike all night long by Tim Tashida. So it's still no balls, 2 strikes. Lofton takes a ball. One and 2. The Indians, Mike Hargrove hitting coach Charlie Manuel, getting their very first look at this 28-year-old from Cuba. Again, that one just does drop out of strike zone. Pretty good patience to lay off of those pitches.
Well, it's good patience, but it's also good pitching because he's not going to give in. He's trying to get these guys to swing at his pitch. And, you know, when you get ahead in the count, you can do that as a pitcher. He has really impressed me tonight, as a matter of fact, with his control, the way he's changed speeds, and the way you see hitters out in front taking pitches.
Well, let's see where he's pitched Kenny Lofton in this at-bat. And everything has been pretty much in the same area, down and away.
And I would assume it's going to stay that way.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Lofton goes the other way and fouls it off.
Kenny will have to go get a piece of lumber because that ball away, he hit it off the end and cracked his bat. Well, remember, your summer party isn't really complete without a big order of award-winning BW3 wings with 12 signature sauces from mild to blazing. And that's your favorite, isn't it? The
yes,
blazing wings. There's a BW3 wing for everyone. BW3 Grill and Pub. It's a preferred restaurant of the Cleveland Indians.
Or maybe one notch down from blazing. Okay.
Blazing. Okay. Super hot.
Still 2 and 2. Ball game is in the bottom of the 7th inning. Justice walked, Whitten singled. They moved up on the ground out by Bell, which came after the strikeout of Borders, and Lofton with a little tapper that trickles foul. And Hernandez covers a lot of ground, doesn't he? He charged after that
yeah,
one.
he's all over the place. He wants this out. running out of his shoes. Look at him hustling to get that ball.
But Lofton has battled. He's gotten back in the count at 2-2. He was down 0-2 and then fouled off a couple of pitches before looking at a couple of balls down and out of the strike zone. So it continues. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Justice and Witten lead away from third and second. Line drive right field, base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Witten. Here comes the throw from the outfield. He goes in standing up and scores. Witten. Out at second is Lofton, but the game is tied at 2. Kenny delivers the 2-run, 2-out single, and the game is tied. Go to the top of the 8th inning. It'll be the top of the New York order. Knobloch, Soho, and O'Neill due up against Charles Nagy, who gets new life. That's rifled toward Lofton in center field. He's right there for the out. Let's take you back to Lofton's game-tying base hit.
Well, it's the first 2-out hit they've had in 2 days. Kenny really battled for this base hit. And I'll tell you, Mark Witten did a good job of getting a jump at second base. This is a hard hit ball, and Paul O'Neill with a great arm. You'll see Justice comes in to score. Here comes Witten, but the throw was offline, and it was high enough where Posada could get it, throw Kenny out at second base, but he tried to get in scoring position, and Kenny ties this ball game up at 2. Terrific at bat for Lofton.
So Lofton, who was down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes, and then had to foul off 2 more pitches. It was still no balls, 2 strikes. He did get back in the count at 2-2 and got a pitch he could handle. So now Soho, who is 0 for 3. Backs away from a fastball inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, the Indians bullpen up and throwing. Got the lefty and the righty up.
There's a strike. It's 1-1.
And after Soho, you've got a steady diet of left-handers, and
but they went away from the 2 that they had. They had Plunk and Mormon up, and instead they go to Shuey and Assenmacher. That's foul. And you could see Fryman was playing right there on the line.
You're going to play right on the line late in the ball game when it's tied. Charlie, a breaking ball pitcher, have a tendency to pull it. Look how close Travis is, and you can see it's clearly foul.
On the other side of the diamond, Jim Thome is hugging that line to first as well.
Take the doubles and give the singles.
Did he go? Yes, sir.
Well, that was a nonchalant call from John Shulock as Charlie gets out number 2. It is his 3rd strikeout. And I had a feeling this was going to happen. You'll see him checking, and Soho does go around. And that's going to bring out Mike Hargrove for the left-handers in the New York lineup. So for Charles Nagy, just another great performance. His 3rd good performance of giving up just 2 runs. And he'll have nothing to show for it.
Very strong outing for Charles Nagy. He gives up 2 runs on 5 hits. He pitches 7 2/3 innings, and Mike Hargrove will make the Ameritech call to the bullpen when we come back. A nice round of applause for Charles Nagy. He acknowledges those that are on their feet, and a well-deserved cheer for Charles because he went 7 2/3, 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. He allows 2 runs. He pitched a very strong game here tonight, keeping the Indians in it.
No doubt about it. It was just the 5th inning where a couple of base hits they scored. But other than that, Charlie very sharp tonight. One of his better outings in a while. And he has really, last 3 games, as we said, pitched very well with nothing to show for it. But that'll bring on Paul Assenmacher for the 32nd time. A record of 2-3, 318 earned run average. And with Joe Torre's left-handed part of the lineup coming in, Mike Hargrove decides, Charlie, thank you. You did a great job, and I'm going to go left-hander versus left-hander now.
And that's a good decision because Paul O'Neill, who will be the batter, is 3 for 22 against Assenmacher. That's a 136 average. And he has 9 strikeouts.
Well, maybe that'll give Charlie a chance after this inning's over. Paul can get out of it.
Get a little sushi?
Get a little sushi, that's right. He loves his sushi. It's coming from Ginza tonight. So the boys in the clubhouse will have some Japanese food.
And one more time tonight, let's check in while we have a moment with Matt Underwood.
John, Yankee pitcher Mike Stanton was suspended by American League President Gene Budick for 5 games. Monday night, he hit Eric Davis immediately after Rafael Palmeiro hit a 3-run home run for Baltimore. Now, Stanton is very angry, and he plans to appeal that suspension. He feels that only 3 people believe he really hit Davis on purpose: Budig, Orioles manager Ray Miller, and home plate umpire John Hirschbeck. Ironically, Stanton's suspension wasn't supposed to begin anyway until after the Yankees leave Cleveland. That suspension originally slated to begin on Tuesday.
And that's why he was up and throwing as O'Neill fouls off the first pitch from Assenmacher. .327 average for O'Neill. He doubled with 2 outs in the 4th inning. He's also flied to left and bounced out to Jim Thome at first. Thome guarding the line in this situation. Tie game 2-2. And we're in the top half of the 8th inning. Shuey continues to throw in the Indians bullpen. O'Neill and then Martinez, the left-handed batters, and of course then it's Tim Raines, a switch hitter, and Strawberry, another lefty. So the Yankees do have a heavily laden left-handed lineup working tonight.
They usually do in New York, have that heavily laden.
Not a bad idea,
hitters.
is it?
Not in that ballpark.
Strike is called. It's 1-2. Assenmacher in relief of Nagy. And I tell you what, the way this game's been played and the moves that have been made and the way it's been pitched and played, it has definitely had a little fall flavor, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, it's the little things when you get into big games like this, and you know, going into it, you feel it may be a 1-run game, and you just never know. The Indians have moved runners, they finally gotten them in, but the Yankees, same thing. It's been a well-pitched ball game.
Strikes him out for the 10th time. He slams the bat down. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. The Indians need a run to take the lead. They'll have Vizquel leading off, then Manny Ramirez, and the cleanup hitter Jim Thome.
The reason why manager Mike Hargrove brings Paul Assenmacher into the game to face Paul O'Neill. A good breaking ball gets him to swing and miss. You'll see the disgust on O'Neill. The Indians out of the 8th inning.
Now it's the bottom of the 8th inning, and Vizquel 0 for 1 officially, grounded into a double play his last time up. And a big punch in this Indians offense again tonight from Kenny Lofton. He has 3 of the 7 hits, and he has driven in both runs.
He is starting to warm up.
Boy, is he ever. Vizquel tries to serve a base hit to left and fouls it off.
Saturday home games at Jacobs Field. A group of lucky youngsters will spend some pregame time with this guy, Omar Vizquel. Thanks to All Sport, it's called Omar y Amigos, and it's a chance to visit with Omar and special guests each Saturday.
Vizquel again tries to go the other way and drops it in the seats. By the way, Kenny Lofton has his average up into the 290s again at 291 with his 3 for 4 performance tonight. Vizquel takes a look at a ball. 1-2 the count. Omar trying to get something started for the Indians in the bottom half of the 8th inning. A 2-2 ball game. A little bouncer hit weakly towards second base. Knobloch on the move. 1 out. Now Manny Ramirez 0 for 3 is grounded out, struck out, and flied out to center field so far tonight. One out and the base is empty. That's a good fastball for strike 1. Well, this guy really mixes his pitches well, doesn't he?
I mean, Manny, I'm sure he's seen so many breaking balls tonight, looking for that on the first pitch, and he throws a fastball by you.
A little bit low, 1-1, and of course on that you have to credit to the catcher, don't you?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I'm saying Posada now has probably caught him in his first 2 starts. I'm not sure, but it's going to take a while to get a feel on how this guy pitches. So he may be calling a lot of his own game out there. He is he's been very impressive tonight.
Here's the 1-1 to Ramirez, way outside and back to the screen. Now, how does a pitcher call his own game?
Well, I mean, he'll put down. You'll see him shaking a lot, not coming, to agreement. Posada's been out there talking to him a couple of times. That's from the lack of knowledge of knowing each other. That comes with experience and time. So I'm saying he'll shake him off, he'll turn, and I've seen him give a few signs to the catcher anyway.
2-1 on Ramirez. Manny steps out as Mike Jackson begins to loosen up and head for the bullpen mound. It's a 2-2 game, bottom half of inning number 8. Got that pitch in on him, and it's going to stay fair. Yes, it is. So there's the hustle of the pitcher. That
exactly
time pays off in and out.
It certainly did. He's been left, he's been right. He jams Ramirez with the fastball on the part of the plate, and Manny has to fall back. But this guy hustled over and got that ball right when it was on the chalk line. And Tim Cheetah calls it a fair ball. Check it out. And he gets over there, and it is.
And with Thome coming up, Joe Torre will make his first trip to the mound tonight. So he kept that ball from going foul, and he gets an out, the second in the inning. Joe Torre is going to take the baseball, and he's going to go to the bullpen. The Yankees will make their first pitching change. It comes here in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 outs and nobody on. Graham Lloyd will check in for New York when we come back with more on Fox Sports Ohio. Strong performance by Hernandez. 122 pitches, 7 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 runs. They are earned. He cannot be the loser. He also cannot be the winner as he turns it over to Graham Lloyd.
And Graham Lloyd having a terrific season for the Yankees. Appearing in his 22nd game, he is 1-0 and a 162 earned run average. Just 16 2/3 innings, 8 hits, has only walked 2 and struck out 9, and has retired 29 of the last 33 batters he has faced in his last 15 appearances. And he has been awfully tough. Just a 145 batting average.
Thome is 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts against Graham Lloyd. He bats with the bases empty and 2 outs, so each manager making the pitching change to a lefty in exactly the same spot. With 2 outs in the 8th, the starters depart, so both were outstanding tonight. It's up to the bullpens now. Thome has walked, struck out, and grounded out. The first 2 pitches to him are balls. Jim has walked once in facing Lloyd, and as I mentioned, struck out 3 times. Line drive, right field, base hit. Lloyd got that pitch up, and Thome hammered it into right. Well, run aboard.
Jimmy looking for the fastball in a 2-0 count, and he got it, and he hammered it into right field. That ball stayed middle of the plate and upstairs, and Jim Thome jumps all over it. May have been a little different if you're down in the count, but Jimmy ahead in the count and makes Graham Lloyd pay, and that's all he's going to face is the one hitter.
He gives up a hit to Jim Thome, the only batter that he was called on to face. Torre will go back to the bullpen. We'll go back to a break and return with more from Jacobs Field right after this.
Hi, I'm Rick Manning. I've worked so hard.
Of Indians games, BP will be making a donation to Jobs for American Graduates. It's the BP Big Play for Charity. And pitcher number 3 here in the 8th inning is the big right-hander Jeff Nelson.
Speaking of big plays, here's a big right-hander. Jeff Nelson, 6'8", appearing for the 33rd time, 3-3 with 2 saves, a 4.83 earned run average. Can be awfully tough on right-handers, even left-handers. He's got that slider. He will drop down to the side, throw that fastball. Coming on with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Jim Thome on first base. He will face Travis Fryman. Fryman 1 for 3 on the night. He doubled back in the 4th inning.
And Fryman is 4 for 14 against Nelson with a double, a triple, 5 runs batted in, but also 7 strikeouts. And I'm sure that most of those 7 strikeouts probably came on that slider.
Yeah, when you watch Nelson, he's way over on the rubber at the 3rd base side. He's 6'8". When you come from the side, it's almost like you better put the front part of your jersey in your mouth so you can stay in there on it without bailing.
Exactly right. The Indians have the go-ahead run aboard with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Hernandez retired Vizquel and Ramirez to start the inning, then gave way to Lloyd, who gave up the base hit to Jim Thome. So now it's Nelson against Fryman. David Justice is on deck. Strike one is called. Fryman is fouled out to Martinez, dropped a double down the right field line, and grounded out to third baseman Scott Brocious. There was that breaking pitch, and he pops it up on the infield. Knobloch at second. We will head to the ninth, tied at 2. For the ninth inning tonight, it will be Tino Martinez, Tim Raines, and Darryl Strawberry due up. Ossenmacher, who got the strikeout of Paul O'Neill, will stick around to pitch this inning. Nelson coming out of the bullpen for the Yankees to record the final out. So Ossenmacher will have to deal with a lefty, a switch hitter, and a lefty. Tino Martinez is 2 for 8 against Ossenmacher, who starts him out with a good fastball at 87 miles an hour on the outside part of the plate. There are the numbers against Ossenmacher. One extra base hit for Tino against Paul, and it's a double. And he lines a base hit to center field. So the Yankees get the leadoff man and the go-ahead run aboard to start the top of the ninth inning.
Well, Paul tried to come back with that fastball, and Tino Martinez was ready for it. See, he's sitting away, and that pitch was down. Maybe a little too much of that play, but Martinez drills it into center field. That's the 6th hit for the Yankees and a start to the ninth inning.
And for the Yankees, it is just the second time they've had the leadoff man aboard. Back in the 5th inning, Raines, who now bats, walked to lead off the inning, and that set the table for a 2-run inning for New York. The Indians answered that with a pair of runs on a 2-out base hit by Lofton in the 7th inning. Raines, in addition to that walk, has grounded out to second base twice as Mariano Rivera gets up for the Yankees. That was Fryman cheating in at third, but Ossenmacher goes to first for the second time. Charles Nagy started this game by retiring the first 11. He pitched very effectively, ran into trouble only in that 5th inning. The base hit, number 6 for New York. The Indians have 8 tonight. Raines shows bunt and takes for a ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Raines has had good success against Ossenmacher. He's 4 for 9. They've all been singles. We're going to have a pinch runner.
Yeah, looks like it.
It's Homer Bush pinch running at first. Bush running for Martinez.
Pinch running for New York, Homer Bush.
These two managers have played it like it's fall.
Yeah, they want to. That's right. They want to end this right here if they can.
I think both realizing the importance of game 1 of this 4-game series. Bush at first. Raines takes a strike, and that time he did not show bunt. This is only the 13th game in which Bush has appeared. He does have a couple of stolen bases, and he's been caught once. Running at first for Martinez, who singled to start the Yankee ninth. Darryl Strawberry is on deck. And it was inside for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike on Tim Raines.
Well, he had the bunt on the first pitch, took it off on the second one, put it back on the third. Now he takes a long look at Willie Randolph, and he wants them to go through the signs again.
Homer Bush, a rookie, the only rookie on the Yankees opening day roster this year. Draws a throw from Ossenmacher. playing for the first time since June the 9th in his pinch running role here. And Borders is going to go out and talk to Ossenmacher. The count on Tim Raines is 2-1. And we have a chance now to take a look at our Fox Sports News primetime headlines, brought to you by the Ohio Lottery. The Red Wings celebrate another Stanley Cup, and more on the Bud Selig situation as far as the permanent commissioner's job is concerned, and all the details of round 1 of the 1998 U.S. Open. Leadoff man aboard for New York. Back in the 4th inning, O'Neill had a 2-out double. And they also got a 2-out double from Chad Curtis in the 7th inning. Other than that, the 5th inning has been the inning, and there's a bouncer over the head of a drawn-in Fryman. Heading for third on the play is Bush. He'll make it. And following to second goes Raines. So it's second and third, and nobody out on a one-hopper over the third baseman's head.
Boy, that ball hit right out in front of home plate and bounces over the head of Fryman, and that's what the bunt does. It brings in the third baseman, and it gets into left field. And now the mistake made here is that when that ball gets over the head, there's nothing he's going to do to stop Bush to get to third base, but he could have stopped Tim Raines from getting to second. You see, Bush was going to be in there easy. But when that throw went to third base, Raines continued to go right into second, and now they have to bring the infield in.
And Ossenmacher has to go for the punch out or the pop up of Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry takes a call, strike one. Darryl is flied out to deep center. He doubled and scored and lined out to center field. He's had some pretty good hacks up there tonight. See his numbers, just 3 for 28 against Ossenmacher. And all he really needs to do is get this one out to the outfield someplace and give the Yankees the lead in the 9th inning.
Well, it'll be an interesting matchup next if he can get Strawberry without getting the run home. Posada on deck.
Swing and a miss. He's ahead in the count, 1-2.
He's a switch hitter, and you look at it, it's 271 on both sides of the plate.
Yeah, so I guess it doesn't matter, does it?
Ossenmacher really takes something off that breaking ball, puts it in an excellent spot to get ahead in the count 1-2, and now can go for the punch out.
By the way, a Mark McGwire sighting in Houston tonight, number 33 off Shane Reynolds. Here it's 1-2 on Darryl Strawberry. The infield is in, runners at second and third, and nobody out. Struck him out.
All right, let's check out the pitch-by-pitch selection by Paul Ossenmacher to attack Darryl Strawberry. Fastball in a good spot, outside corner. Breaking ball misses. Then he gets this breaking ball, better location, gets him to swing at it. Now when he's looking for the breaking ball away, fastball up around the letters and gets Strawberry to chase, and he gets the first out.
Now they will intentionally pass Posada. Chad Curtis is on deck.
Well, that means that he'll probably go to the bullpen for the right-hander.
That will load the bases. This is the same strategy that the Indians used back in the 5th inning. And the Yankees made them pay for it. At that time, it was an intentional walk with 1 out to Chad Curtis, but Brocious and then the leadoff man Knobloch delivered the RBI singles. Mike Hargrove will go to the center of the diamond, and if you get a look at the back of Mike, he has already made the change. Number 30 is going to the mound to make a pitching change for the Cleveland Indians. Mike Hargrove has given up number 21. We'll give it up for a moment. Mike Jackson will come on when we come back on Fox Sports Ohio. Yankees have loaded the bases against Ossenmacher, and that brings on Mike Jackson.
Mike appearing for the 31st time. His record 0-1 and a 2.42 earned run average. He does have 13 saves in 26 innings. He's given up 22 hits, 2 walks, and 24 strikeouts. And he would love to have a strikeout here or a ground ball double play. Coming in with the bases loaded, just 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning.
Chad Curtis 0 for 6 against Jackson with a couple of strikeouts. Batting with the bases loaded. He doubled his last time up, officially 1 for 2 tonight. It was a late addition to Joe Torre's lineup. Originally the rookie Ricky Liddell. Or
Ledee.
Not Liddell. Ledee was penciled in as the starting center fielder, but it's been Curtis in center, picking up for Bernie Williams. 1 out, bases loaded. We're in the top of the 9th inning in a 2-2 ball game. Curtis checks his swing, but it's a strike call. Nasty slider at the knees on the outside corner.
Good hard slider. I think Curtis looking for it. He still couldn't hold up.
Back to 2 guys who are up earlier for the Indians, Mormon and Shuey. In the Indians bullpen. Curtis swings and misses. It's 0-2.
Well, you talking
high hard one.
Yeah, you talking well after you start him off with a nasty slider, come back. You figure he may be looking for that pitch, and they get the fastball by him. Just puts that little doubt in your mind. That pitch at 93 miles per hour on supervision. The crowd getting into it now, and they want the punch out. Boy, you talk about matching up. This game has really been a great ball game.
It's 2-2. The game is on the line here in the 9th inning. Curtis strikes out.
Wow, Mike Jackson wasting no time. 3 straight pitches to Chad Curtis. Slider, fastball, slider. Gets the punch out. Boy, he didn't waste any time and had Curtis fooled on that one. Now the Indians an opportunity to get out of this one. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. But it's going to take another good performance because this guy having a good year, Scott Brocious.
And Brocious is 3 for 8 against Jackson, including a home run. Bats with the bases full, and with the bases full in the 5th inning, and 1 out, he got an RBI single, chasing home the first New York run. Strike 1 is called. That 93-mile-an-hour fastball right on the inside part of the plate. It's 0-1. That is a bouncer. It's going to be trouble for Fryman. Not in time. And it's 3-2. No, it's a foul ball. It is a foul ball.
I did not even see home plate umpire Tim Cheetah make that call.
It's a foul ball. Here comes Joe Torre.
Now you see what happens. John Shulock is saying he saw the call. And he was the reason why he said safe. It wasn't safe. He was saying no play. Boy, a break for the Indians right here.
Let's take a look.
Well, that ball hit behind the plate. It did not get Brocious. You'll see the hands go up. Right. All right. So he made the call as soon as it went down. Now I don't know if he's saying it hit his foot.
Didn't look like it did on that replay.
It didn't hit his foot. It hit on the side of the plate. I think the Indians catch a break right here. Joe Torre going to come out and plead his case. But he did, and that replay you saw, he just said foul ball right off the get-go.
Well, I'll tell you what happens. Everybody was watching the ball trickle toward Fryman and knowing how tough a play it was going to be, so it's easy not to notice the home plate umpire, and Torre is not happy.
That ball hit right there behind the plate. There you'll see it. And Travis made a terrific play just to get this ball to Jim Thome and make it close.
They are on their feet now. Top of the 9th inning. Still a 2-2 ball game. It looked like the Yankees had taken the lead, but the ball was called foul. So now it's 0-2 on Brocious. And they are definitely into it now. Jackson just misses. 1-2.
Good slider right off the outside edge, and Brocious will not bite, so he stays alive.
2 outs, bases full. You got a piece of that one. Gives us a chance to remind you that during all of our Fox Sports Ohio Indians telecasts, First Merit Banks is donating $50 to the United Way if an Indian hits a home run. It's called First Merit's Home Runs for Hometown Charity, sponsored by First Merit Bank. Still 1-2. This has been a terrific baseball game to start this 4-game weekend series. Brocious really battling now. Got just a piece of that 93-mile-an-hour pitch that was up.
Mike Jackson wants a different baseball.
Top of the 9th. Fouled back again.
Boy, he's battling. He's fouled off a couple sliders and a fastball.
One ball, two strikes. Two outs. Bush, Raines, and Posada the base runners. Just does get a piece of that one to stay alive.
He's pretty much throwing him everything. That was a little two-seam fastball trying to run down, and then he just got on top and got a piece of. So Mike Jackson reaching back, throwing everything he's got at Scott Brocious, and Brocious staying alive. Really a good at-bat.
Hanging tough, trying to give the Yankees the lead in the ninth inning. Here comes Jackson's pitch inside, 2-2. They are oohing and ahhing with every pitch right now.
Well, this may be a setup pitch now. On the 1-2 pitch, he runs it inside to go back with that slider away.
Upstairs with a breaking ball, so it's come down to a 3-2 pitch, 2 outs, and the bases loaded. The runners will be on the move. Popped it foul, out of play. We'll do it again. Now, Brocious and Jackson, neither one is going to go down without a fight here in this at-bat.
You got it. What a battle this is. Yankees had this started this inning with runners on second and third. Hasselmacher got the strikeout of Strawberry. They walk Posada. They get Curtis on the strikeout and looking to get out of this inning unharmed.
Oh my, so close. It's 3-2 New York. Joe Torre, of course, assumes that's justice for the miss on the foul, but it was just off the outside corner for a ball.
Well, what an at-bat. What an at-bat by Brocious. He worked that count from 0-2 to full and gets the walk on the outside edge. Just off the plate. Check it out on supervision. The Yankees take a 3-2 lead, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Check out the reaction of Mike Hargrove.
Knobloch now takes ball one inside. Chuck is 1 for 4 in the ball game, had an RBI single in the 2-run 5th inning, and the Yankees have reclaimed the lead. The Indians have never been ahead. They tied it on Lofton's 2-out base hit in the 7th inning, and now down by 1. Thome makes the play, but the flip to first, not in time. It goes into the dugout. New York is going to get 2 runs and go up 5-2.
Well, that was a do-or-die play. It goes off the glove of Jim Thome. And David Bell, the only chance he had was just get it and throw it. It goes off the top of Mike Jackson's glove into the dugout. So it may go as a hit and an error. You'll see Knobloch going the other way. There's the deflection off Thome's glove. And that's a do-or-die play. You're trying to get out of the inning with Knobloch coming down the line. It goes off Jackson's glove into the dugout. And it is now 5-2, and there's runners at second and third.
It does go as an infield hit and an RBI for Knobloch. The error charge to the second baseman David Bell, and it's all of a sudden a big inning for New York. Runners still at second and third. That one is fouled away by Luis Sojo. Well, as far as this inning is concerned, you have to credit it, in my mind, to Scott Brocious, the battle that he put up against Mike Jackson.
You're absolutely right. A terrific at-bat that gave him the 1-run lead.
That one is fouled back off the mask of Pat Borders, and right now, I tell you, the scoreboard is not really sure what the score is. The score is 5-2. They had it at 6-2. Now they've reduced it to 4-2. We had too many bodies out there on the diamond. It is a 3-run 9th inning and a bouncer toward Fryman at third. He'll make the play to Tomey, but the Indians trail by 3 as they come up for the bottom of the 9th inning. Five to 2 is the score. 2 of those runs are earned. 1 is unearned. They are all charged to Paul Assenmacher as the Yankees now will go to their closer, Rivera, for the 9th inning.
Rivera coming on for the 20th time, a 1-0 record and a 116 earned run average. He has 14 saves. Coming down, and this is the way he would like to have it, a 3-run lead to bring your closer in. Well, Joe Torre has that. After you thought so close the Indians were out of the 9th inning, and the next thing you know, there was a 3 spot put on the board by the Yankees. So Rivera coming on to face Justice, Witten, and Borders, the scheduled hitters.
The first one scored on the walk. Dale Swaim, who was part of this Yankee team, takes over for Martinez at first. And Ricky Ledee will be the left fielder.
First base number 17, Dale Swaim. Now pitching number 42, Mariano Rivera.
And Rivera, the new pitcher, out of the bullpen. Rick has given you his information. And he is on to face Justice, Witten, and Borders. The Indians trailing 5-2. The hits are even at 8 apiece. It looked like the Indians were going to get off the hook, but I'll tell you what, Scott Brocious would not let that happen, would he?
No, sir.
Two balls, no strikes on Justice. Rivera picked up a save on Sunday in that Yankee win. He pitched the last inning. He did give up 2 hits and a run, but still got the save. It was a 4-2 final, so he came in with a 3-run lead on that occasion, and he's fallen behind David Justice. 3 balls and no strikes. There's the strike.
That's what you have to do with Rivera. You've got to make him get that fastball down because it explodes on you. He gets halfway there, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's by you.
Strike 2, full count. Justice had a hit off of him on Sunday. I think Mike was too thrilled about that call and maybe some of the calls in the previous inning, but nonetheless, it's a 5-2 Yankee lead as the Indians bat in the bottom of the 9th. Justice taps it foul. It remains 3-2. Full count on David Justice. Game 1 of this 4-game series, and Justice just does stay alive as he rolls it off his body into the playing field, and he'll have to try to walk that one off.
Yeah, I know. That one's in on the hands. That was ball 4, but it looked like that one's almost like a cutter as it runs in on the hands of David, and he just that went off his thigh.
Yes.
I've never seen a ball hit that high up on your leg.
It's 3-2. Justice trying to get something going in the bottom of the 9th inning. Comebacker. Rivera will take care of Justice for out number 1. So David 1 for 3 in the ball game tonight. He did score one of the 2 Indians runs in their 2-run 7th inning. The Yankees got 2 in the 5th off Charles Nagy and then scored 3 times in the 9th. All those runs charged to Assenmacher, and Mark Whitten, who singled and scored in the 7th, is 1 for 3. Pat Borders due up next. Sandy Alomar, though, is going to grab a bat and get ready to pinch hit. Strike 1.
Well, down 3 runs. Indians taking a strike.
Now it's no balls and 2 strikes to Mark Whitten, who is 0 for 4 against Mariano Rivera, 0 for 1 this year. Yankees trying to take game 1. Tomorrow it'll be Jarrett Wright and David Cone. We'll have Indians game time at 6:30, including live coverage of the ceremonies and the retirement of Bob Lemon's number. Still 0-2. And the game at 7 right here on Fox Sports Ohio. No balls, 2 strikes. This game in the hands of Nelson and Assenmacher. That one rides in and hits him.
Well, tough way to get a base runner, but they get one. He likes to pitch inside the left-handers and run that ball in, but this one a little too deep. Mark Whitten's got a turn. You'll see him take it. That's got to hurt. That's 95 miles an hour.
Here comes Sandy, who hit one of the more dramatic home runs of his career against the Yankees in the playoffs last year.
Drive well hit the right field. Track wall tied.
Part of the drama of the division playoffs that brought the Indians back, and it was Sandy Alomar who got a double off Rivera in the 9th inning in Yankee Stadium on Sunday. Here, even if he hits it out, it doesn't help. The Indians are down by 3. What they need are base runners. David Bell is on deck, and Sandy pulls it to third. It hops off the chest of Brocious. He'll get one at second, and Sandy able to beat it out at first. So the Indians are down to their final out.
Well, Sandy hit this ball on the nose. Brocious had this ball. Watch it hop out of his glove. It's a tough hop. Keeps it right there. Is able to catch it in midair to get the first out. And then Knobloch's going to go ahead and try and turn it. They make it close, but Sandy beats it out and keeps the inning alive.
For David Bell, the Indians need one more base runner to get the potential tying run to the plate. Kenny Lofton moves out on deck. He's had another big night, 3 for 4. He went 3 for 3 against the Yankees on Sunday, so he is now 6 for 7 against New York this season. Ball 1 to Bell. Bell facing Rivera for the first time. David has struggled of late. He's 0 for 3 tonight. 0 for his last 16. 1-1. Bouncing ball, foul outside of third. It's 1-2. Well, a couple of turning points in this ball game. You go back to the 0-2 situation with Raines in the 5th inning, where Charles Nagy wound up walking him. That was the key at bat. It set the Yankees up. Strawberry then doubled, and they eventually got both of those runs home. But then in the 9th, the battle that Brocious put up against Jackson, finally working a walk on a 3-2 pitch after he fouled away 5 or 6 pitches in that at bat. That drove in the go-ahead run. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And of course, the infield hit for Knobloch, who picked up his 2nd run batted in. He and Brocious each with 2 RBIs in the ball game tonight. And then the throwing error by Bell allowed the 3rd run to score. And it's 5-2 New York. Full count, 3-2. Line towards center field. Back is Chad Curtis on the run and makes the play. The Yankees take game 1 of this series. The final tonight is 5-2. A well-pitched, well-played ball game on both parts. It took 3 hours and 5 minutes to get it done, and the Yankees win it tonight. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for New York. The Yankees tonight stranding 6 men. They scored 3 in the 9th to win it. And for the Indians tonight, they come up with 2 runs, 8 hits. They made 1 error. It cost them a run in the 9th inning. And the Indians in this ball game tonight strand 7 men. Well played, well pitched, and the Yankees came out on top.
I'll tell you, the score really doesn't show how this game was. This was a terrific ball game right from the start. The Indians had the Yankees had a 2-0 lead. Kenny Lofton's at-bat was a terrific at-bat to bring the game back to even. And I'll tell you, the big turning point is right. Scott Brocious, he had 2 RBIs out of the 3 runs at that point. Then the Knobloch hit. And I'll tell you what, excellent ball game to start this 4-game series.
Yankees get 3 in the 9th. They win it. The final tonight is 5-2. No home runs for the Indians in the ball game. That means no more money for First Merit. Our season total stands at $1,850. Tomorrow night, round 2. We'll have Indians game time at 6:30. The play-by-play at 7. Stay tuned now for Fox Sports News Primetime. For Rick Manning, Matt Underwood, and our entire crew here at the stadium, I'm John Sanders. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.
This is Fox Sports News. Round 1 of the U.S. Open is in the books. We'll show.
Cleveland's trying to try and stop a red-hot Darryl Strawberry and the rest of the Pinstripes. For that matter, let's check it out. There's Orlando El Duque looking for numero tres. Looked sharp in the first. Kenny Lofton, sit down. Third inning, Manny Ramirez goes down swinging, can't find it. Jim Tomei, you're a victim. He had 7 Ks on the night for El Duque. 7th inning, though, in a little bit of trouble. Lofton up with 2 men on. Lofton says, this time I got you. A base hit, 2-run score. But look at Lofton. Picked off there on his way to second. We're tied at 2. Top of the 9th, still tied up. Mike Jackson works with the bases juice. Jackson walks Scott Brocious. That's a run in. 3-2 Yanks. Next batter, Chuck Knobloch's ground ball goes off Tomei's glove. David Bell throws it away. 2-run score. Jackson can't believe it. Yeah, it happened to you, and it's ugly. Yankees win it 5-2, so the Yanks win their 49th. El Duque went 7 2/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 2 runs, but he had 7 Ks.
Red Sox and Devil Rays and Mo Vaughn. Well,
ready to go.
He's happy before the game, but all business when it starts. Top of the 5th, Red Sox up 3-2. Dennis Springer.
Up the middle, long run.
Mo Vaughn up the middle on Springer. John Valentin, Nomar Garcia-Parra, both in. Sox up by 3. Bottom of 8, Wade Boggs on second. Fred McGriff on first. Bobby Smith, the pinch hitter. That's why he's pinch hitting. He gets the hit. Boggs in from second. Fred McGriff. Get the Steinway off your back. Well, he gets in anyway. Game tied at 5. Top of the 10th. Runners on first and second for Troy O'Leary.